every post is a signal. Give it fuel. Boost eggs, the social value layer.
Let's go. Good morning, my friends. It's your old pal Peace Love Music with another episode of the Let's Go Good Morning Show, brought to you live by DeOrganized Media, partnership with our amazing friends at Bitcoin Live Decentralized Broadcasting. It is Friday. We made it to the end of the week. We got some interesting news items to get to. I'm going to try to get through that as fast as possible. Maybe bring on the homies real quick. And then at 9, we're going to jump in and cover the space, the first Stacks Lab Space official office hours with Alex Miller, new non-interim CEO, just the CEO there now. And we're going to pick that up at 9 so we can bring that to our audience. Really going to try to get through this quickly, although I'm already stumbling. This friendly reminder, it's a news show. We're providing news, information, education, entertainment, never financial advice. Always do your own research. Never invest money you cannot afford to lose. That being said, we're going to take a look at the numbers this morning. Things are looking interesting, to say the least. Actually, let me make sure. Yeah, I think I'd love to hear actually some feedback in the live chat. If you guys are watching and you're interested in seeing this more like this is actually better for you, let me know. Or if you prefer it like this, if this is better, then let me know. I'm gonna go with this today because I think it's easier for you guys to see the numbers. But let me get through this here. Bitcoin coming in at 121,491. Ethereum holding on actually to 4,300. That's solid. BNB retesting, but still holding over that 1250 range. That's pretty good too. Still at 220 for Solana. What Stacks looking like today? Did drop to number 81. We're under 60 cents. We're at 58.48. Probably going to take a look at that later when I have a little bit more time. Fair and Greed Index at 54, kind of hovering in that neutral range still. It wants to get into greed, but we're just not ready yet, apparently. And the top 3 gainers on CoinMarketCap for the last 24 hours are Zcash, BitTensor, Tau, Litecoin, Starknet making a little run. That's interesting. Some other guys on there, Uniswap making a little leg up. There's a lot of little bit of green in the morning so far today. That's not bad. More than half, 51 out of the top 100 on CoinMarketCap are green. Not the worst day, fam. Not the worst day to wait. Not the worst way to head into the weekend either. Let's take a look at what's going on STX Tools. Guys, if you didn't know, STX Tools is the place to go if you're looking to do your own research and learn about the many amazing projects on Stacks right now. Our top gainers, Sailor, again, I never got a chance to look into it. Guys, if you know anything about Sailor, let me know. I know Pumpy had like this massive pump yesterday too. But Sailor's up 5%. Welsh is rocking. Lots of activity on Welsh lately. Shout out to the Welshies. UAP making a little bit of a run. George's meme getting a little bump after his mint out a couple days ago. That's good. Dogs getting some attention. Stoshi AI is green. The Rubrus are getting a little bit of love. Some Flat Earth. Things are looking good in the Stacks ecosystem long term. I will tell you that personally, not financial advice. Let's take a look if I can find my news thread. If I can, but take me a minute. Since I didn't. Hold on. Let me actually post this underneath the live streams to make sure that everyone has it. If you guys want to follow along or check it out later, we got a lot of news, a lot of information. I'm going to go through it relatively quickly today. This is not Luxembourg. Wait a minute. It didn't keep my title. I used yesterday's title. Is this? No, this is yesterday's. Here we go. No, that's not the one either. My apologies, everybody. Here's the thread is in the live stream, so you guys can follow along, and actually also going to get that live stream post underneath the thread. It ain't easy being cheesy, guys. I'll tell you that. I will tell you that. We do this every day, by the way, the morning thread. This post is available early in the morning, as early as we can get it out there. We send it out, we get it distributed, and we have the top news that I think is the most interesting news of the day. This one's interesting, and I don't like to get too deep politically, but this is an interesting news story. The Democrats propose restricted list for DeFi. U.S. lawmakers have introduced a new bill that would create a restricted list for DeFi protocols, forcing certain platforms to meet the same compliance standards as traditional financial institutions. Supporters say it's about consumer protection, but the crypto community sees it as a direct threat to innovation. Critics warn the measure could push developers offshore, cripple U.S. liquidity, and undermine DeFi's permissionless nature. The proposal highlights growing tension between Washington's desire for oversight and crypto's decentralized ethos. It's really, to me, it's about kind of isolating and picking specific protocols that they feel like they can manipulate and maneuver around by the establishment. That's what I see happening there, and I think we should absolutely stand against that at all cost. At all cost. Oh, I'm not on the. Well, that's silly. Let me do this. Here's the thread. At all costs, we should stand against that. Bank of England faces backlash over stablecoin cap. The Bank of England is considering limits on stablecoin holdings between 10,000 to 20,000 pounds for individuals and 10 million for corporations. Seems like a power shift. Exchanges and institution firms could see exemptions, but retail users would face strict caps. Industry leaders argue the rule is unworkable and would hinder growth in one of Europe's most vibrant crypto markets. While regulators cite financial stability, critics see it as a move that would lock the UK out of meaningful innovation in digital payments. It's ridiculous. If it's going to be all sorts of regulated and actually backed by, with certain things that it has to be backed by and making sure that it's all on the up and up and all that, then why would you need to limit people to $20,000? And can I only hold $20,000 in cash? Do I have to put it all in the bank? How much are you going to actually control what I can and can't do with my money? That seems backwards and very authoritarian to me. I don't like that. So we're going to move on. I'm so slow. Stacking down yield today, 8.2% on STSTX with your yield in STX, or 7.9% with STSTX BTC, your yield in SBTC, or you can get 9.5% on your stacks today over at Stacking Dow with native BTC rewards. Stay liquid, stack smarter. Use Stacking Dow, powered by Stacks. South Korea expands crypto seizures for tax debts. South Korea's tax authorities are ramping up enforcement, expanding crypto seizures tied to unpaid taxes. The new measures include automated systems designed to identify wallets associated with tax delinquency and freeze funds directly. This effort signals a growing trend among governments using blockchain data to pursue compliance. While effective, critics warn the policy could overreach, potentially targeting users before due process or proper appeals are in place. Yeah, well, that's not the right way, but who's to say that they won't do that? Kazakhstan wipes out 130 shadow crypto platforms. Kazakhstan's regulators have shuttered 130 unlicensed crypto exchanges and seized roughly, that's a lot for one country, by the way, 130 unlicensed exchanges. They've seized roughly $16.7 million in assets. Officials describe the effort as part of a nationwide crackdown on money laundering and unregistered crypto activity. While the country has positioned itself as a mining hub, its regulatory stance has hardened dramatically. Authorities claim the move will protect users, but critics worry that over-regulation may stifle the region's growing role in the global crypto economy. They definitely should be cracking down on illegal actors, in my opinion. That's most likely who's going to harm the vulnerable amongst us. Bitflow, DEX aggregator on Bitcoin, deep liquidity aggregation, DCA and limit orders live, earned via flex pools and farming. Stay tuned for HODL liquidity market maker coming. Going to be next level, guys, and it's starting very soon. U.S. finalizes $20 billion cryptocurrency swap, not cryptocurrency, $20 billion currency swap with Argentina, not cryptocurrency. The U.S. and Argentina have signed a $20 billion currency swap agreement aimed at stabilizing Argentina's markets and strengthening its foreign exchange reserves. The move underscores Washington's efforts to reinforce economic ties in Latin America amid global liquidity challenges. For crypto traders, this deal is seen as a signal of shifting macroeconomic priorities that could ripple into risk markets, potentially influencing investors' sentiment and capital flows. This is a strategic ally. This is a support for a strategic ally, cementing a relationship with a strategic ally that helps us bolster and protect against potential limiting of resources available to some of our global competitors. This is a free market in action between nations. All for it, to be honest. I'm not opposed to this from a strategic point of view for the U.S. Altcoins rise. Altcoins rise on Polymarket's soaring valuation. This is an interesting one, actually. Polymarket's meteoric growth has sparked a mini altcoin rally with tokens linked to its underlying infrastructure like UMA and Matic. Can't believe Maddox actually got something going for it finally. Posting notable gains, the prediction market platform's rising valuation reflects a surge in on-chain participation and public interest in decentralized forecasting tools. Analysts say Polymarket's momentum highlights the broader appetite for real-world use cases that blend DeFi, social engagement, and data markets, pushing crypto adoption beyond speculation. Heck yeah. That is what we're waiting for. That is what we want. Tapsy aligns with Chainlink and leads crypto pre-sales. Tapsy has announced a new partnership with Chainlink to power its pre-sale and tokenization infrastructure, expanding its reach within the DeFi ecosystem. The collaboration aims to improve security, transparency, and automation for early-stage projects. Leveraging Chainlink's Oracle technology, Tapsy positions itself as a bridge between pre-sales and mainstream adoption. The move reinforces Chainlink's growing footprint in Web3 infrastructure while boosting Tapsy's credibility in an increasingly competitive market. Very interesting. Gaming, this all ties in together. The Polymarket news, you're seeing more use cases, more ways to engage. And speaking of ways to engage, shout out to Skullcoin and their achievement with the leaderboard. It's really awesome. You got a ton of people in our ecosystem that are contributing every day on DeOrganized. This is our all-time leaderboard for Skullcoin. I mean, there's lots and lots of people that have played and won. More and more going down the line. Huge. And then we got our weekly leaderboard. We can keep track of who's been participating the most recently. Our top 10 leaderboard for the weekly. is, and this is our first weekly leaderboard. So shout out to Wenyu, one of our ambassadors for DeOrganized, and DeFi Dictator. Didi's it's just a matter of me having a conversation with him, to be honest with you. He'd probably be an ambassador for us too. All of these guys coming in, playing every day. Shout out to you guys, but big ups to our leaders, Wenyu and Didi, and all these guys, Elder Statesman, Father Abraham, Nixie, the Great One, STX, Cody actually is a newer player, I think. Degen Hush, Crypto Lady, Only One MS. These guys are coming out. Sometimes these guys take a lot in a week. It's not just one win every week. Sometimes these guys are on here. So looking forward to seeing how this aligns and changes as we move forward. And real quick, just going over the calendar today. Whatever morning, great time. I was late and couldn't stick around because I'm late on my show scheduling today. The more we add to the processes, the harder it gets to keep up with everything. We have the Let's Go Good Morning show, which you're watching now. We're going to cover at 9 a.m. in just 4 minutes the Stacks Labs office hours with Alex Miller. Skullcoin BTC, we will have at 9:30. We'll break off from the office hours at 9:30 to have our Skullcoin show. At 10:30, we have the Sip and Innovation call with me, Hero Gamer Hattie. We got a great lineup of OGs building. We're going to talk about Clarity 4 and the WebAuthn passkeys function, native passkeys built into Clarity, into Stacks, and what that means for the ecosystem moving forward. And at 7 p.m. every Friday is the Friday edition of the DeOrganized Nightly Show with GP and friends. There'll be some games, some fun. Check them out. Always a great way to round out your week. Oh, I missed Purple Pill Friday on here. Sorry, Dan and Brad. 5 p.m. before the DeOrganized Nightly Show is the Purple Pill Friday. It's the longest running stacks-oriented space on X. Dan and Brad, a.k.a. Fluid Voice. Dan Trevino, everyone knows I'm talking about Dan. They have a great show. OGs, it's also a great time to catch up on what's going on in the Stacks ecosystem weekly. If you only watch one show besides ours, the Purple Pill Friday is a great one to get into. That is the news. I'm going to bring on the homies. I'm running late. I'll talk to you about our sponsors in a little bit. Let me bring the guys in. GP, what up? What up?
Good morning. Good morning. Happy Friday, dude.
Happy Friday. Thank God, man. Thank God we made it.
TGIF, dude.
Hana.
GM.
You're rocking it. Who's that? Who are you representing today with that shirt?
Glory, glory, Man United. I know a lot of people are not going to be happy because of Manchester.
Tenderly's not happy.
Nah, Chelsea, bro. All blues.
You see. And GP, what up? A good T-shirt right there. Yeah. Vegeta.
I love the heart, though. I love the heart. Like, I need to have one of those.
Yeah. I think Peace should hook us with the DeOrganized match, bro.
You know what? I absolutely need to come up with some merch and definitely get you guys some to regularly wear. I've just been sitting around doing nothing when I should be designing some merch for you guys.
Man, what are you doing, dude? Seriously, gosh. We know you're busy as they come, man. You're busier than the average bear.
I know, even with all the help I'm getting from you Chads all the time, which is a lot, by the way. Like, you guys do a lot of lifting for us here, and I just still can't keep up with it all all the time. It's a lot. It's a lot going on in our space. But I mean, the most important thing is that we're here. We're getting these stories out. We're covering what's on, and we're bringing it to our audience, our beloved audience. By the way, a couple of guys in the chat, GM, P-Lord, what's up, brother? TGIF for sure. Happy birthday, Pip. It was Pip's birthday, I think, yesterday. I didn't hear about it until this morning, but happy birthday, brother. Hope you have an amazing birthday weekend. What's up, X Inc? Eric's X Inc. Looking forward to seeing some more from them soon. Maybe even have some merch to show you from that side of things. And update with Leo. Afternoon from here. I'm not welcome. Good morning, or good afternoon to you, sir. And yes, Eric, let's go. All right, I'm gonna try to find is it live yet? Did Alex? There he is. All right, hold on. Let me. So what I might actually do, if I end up in the space on stage, I'm gonna mute our conversation if I have to talk. So I might mute.
Yeah, you can just mute in here.
Yeah, I'll mute the tab in DeOrganized. All right, so let me actually. I do have it up. Share my screen. I should have jumped in as DeOrganized. That would have been the professional thing to do.
Blogface, thank you so much.
I'm gonna jump in under the DeOrganized account.
Do it.
Just to have
Is it Tenderly and 300 have opposite haircut? Crazy.
What happened?
Yeah, the comment by Blogface.
I can't see it right now. What did he say?
He said Tenderly and 300 have the opposite haircut. Like, I have hair and trees have no hair.
We got a co-host.
Crazy, right? Yeah, Peace is doing the Lord's work, representing DeOrganized.
All right, I'm gonna mute you guys for a minute. I won't be able to hear you guys talking. I'm just gonna mute the tab so you guys can still hear me. Feel free to talk about
anything. I'll message you on that.
I don't hear. There we go. Thinking about it now, I might actually have you guys run Find to Earn and stay in the space and maybe a co-host. What do you guys think about that? I didn't hear you guys.
Do what you gotta do.
All right, we'll go ahead and get this thing kicked off. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, peace, love. How you doing today, bud?
Good morning, Alex. I'm doing excellent, man. I really think things are. I'm feeling very positive about all sorts of things on all sorts of fronts. We are live.
All right, tell me something you're feeling positive about that is not stacks or crypto related.
Oh, well, I have a lot to be thankful for, to be honest. I'm a father of 7, as I've mentioned before. I have amazing kids. I have an amazing wife. Life is good. I think despite a lot of the, since we're talking about outside of stacks and outside of crypto, I do think that while there's a lot of polarization in the broader political sense, I think people are starting to.
What are you talking about? I haven't seen anyone be polarized.
I think people are actually starting to get a little bit more open-minded to talking things over and maybe trying to figure out compromises, not at the upper levels, but I think on the ground floor, people are starting to realize that it's a less. They need the I don't agree with everything on either side. Like, why would I align with anyone wholeheartedly and dogmatically? And I think people are starting to realize that. So that's also another reason why I feel good and optimistic.
The one exception is you should agree with me dogmatically.
Well, it depends on what you share with me your dogma, sir, and I'll consider it.
I will send you a copy of my newsletter. You can read up on my ideas, my wild and outlandish ideas.
I will absolutely respond to, but
Excellent. Well, turning to the world of stats, because that's pretty cool. There's a lot that's happened this week. Let's see. We've got so obviously first off, we had the Dex screener listing go live yesterday, which was that yesterday or the day before, which I know a lot of people had been waiting a while for. Shout out to Rubes for having kind of pushed that forward, and Rick from the formerly Stacks Foundation, now Stacks Labs team, working with him on that, along with Shaley from our team.
Huge achievement. Huge achievement. That was a lot of work. I watched that happen over months and months, and well done, everybody.
Yeah. Yep, definitely one of those cases of of an important resource, but where, man, they can just drag their feet or get lost in the shuffle a lot with companies like that. Been pushing forward a ton of. I'm trying to think. So last week on office hours, obviously we talked a lot about kind of the upcoming schedules and things, and major projects that we're working on, like dual stacking. What else have you seen being talked about this week?
One of the coolest things, and actually at 10:30 we do our regular weekly SIP show on DeOrganized, and we have a huge slate of guys coming on to talk about Clarity 4 is coming. The vote's going to be coming. I think it passed out the technical cab, which is the only cab it needs to get out of. And then WebAuthn passkey, native passkey WebAuthn in Clarity has been added. Rafa's coming on. We're going to talk, like Rafa, Bryce, a bunch of guys are coming on to talk about that. I think that's very exciting because I think it gives us it's a really interesting onboard functionality that we can build into some of the apps that, especially the ones that are maybe a little less financial based on the front end. Some of the more that might attract people from non-native. It's easier to onboard non-native crypto users into some of the more engagement level apps type of thing, and that's really exciting to me. Also,
WebAuthn's a pretty amazing standard, and anyone who works at Labs or Hero can tell you how constantly I harp on using security keys for protecting all of our accounts, which are obviously very locked down given the industry we work in. And so being able to use those linked up with smart contracts on Clarity is pretty cool, and it's much more convenient than having to buy ledgers.
Yes, right. And I've been told some people have opinions that obviously the current wallet standard or cold storage is more secure, and we can always kind of we can make sure that we're educating users to that if they're putting significant sums of money, they might want to start engaging in some of those deeper security things. But onboarding new users, very rarely are they putting large sums of money in it first anyway. So it's about convenience, making it easy for them to use and onboard, so they don't get a roadblock just trying to figure out how to engage.
Yep. Yeah, the initial onboarding and then providing good transition paths is a really key thing. And I think the comparing WebAuthn and security keys to a multi-sig ledger is not the right comparison in my mind, because that's not what most people are going to trade it off against. It's comparing it to using a hot wallet or a custodial solution. And I think unquestionably, compared to either of those things, a security key is a far, far better solution.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm excited about it because it opens up opportunities for things that we might want to build out for our website roadmap for DeOrganized, and I'm sure a bunch of others. I'm excited to talk about that later today. We also have had a tremendous amount of this interim grant funding is funding a lot of really awesome projects. We just
hundreds of thousands of dollars rolling out there. From shout out to Mitchell and the foundation team for all of that.
Yes, and we're very thankful we were recognized and are getting a little bit of relief and help to move our project forward. A bunch of other awesome projects. D Grants had 126 applications as of the close on Wednesday, which is huge. We might need to look at maybe a little bit more budget for next year, but not going to put you on the spot for that now. But there's a huge.
It's not my call, man. You got to get the whole Treasury Committee to allocate to you now.
That's it. Well, but we're going to have. I'm sure that I would love to help facilitate a conversation about that and how we can make it work, because I do think that there's a huge amount of energy around these programs. It gives us a lot of opportunity to just make content in the socials about it, get engagement and conversations. We had a bunch of very, very broadly attended spaces around D grants, especially. And, it's the energy it creates is hard to put a dollar value on. We still get a lot of, there's some really awesome projects. I haven't had a chance to go through all of them because it's a lot. But there's some really awesome stuff that people are proposing, and even some of the stuff that's like, someone's first opportunity to put something together. It's really, I think it's a great opportunity for people to do something like that at the grassroots level, just to come up with an idea, just to get some out of the box thinking. What would I do? How, there's some money here. Maybe I have been thinking about putting an idea together. So it sparks some creativity there too in the ecosystem.
Definitely. Yep, totally. So I will give my first of my many normal plugs usually on this, which is if you have questions you want to chat with me about, it is open office hours. So please go ahead. You can either reply to the space tweet announcing the space if you don't want to actually come up, or put your hand up and we will bring folks up on the stage to chat through whatever questions you've got on Stacks or Stacks Labs or SIP 31 or any of the things being worked on currently. It's not entirely on me. I am looking at the stage, and if we do start digging into really technical things, Roth, Bryce, Shaley, a lot of folks from the team who are hanging out in the space here with us. So I can probably actually even get you accurate technical information on things. Let's see, what else is kind of top of mind right now? What's questions that you've got, Pete, or that you've seen people with?
So one question, I guess, that I've heard, and this is because I'm a D grant steward, and I've also been participating in the interim grants. So it's grants related. There are definitely some people that maybe missed the timeline for the window or weren't really ready, but they are looking at. So I guess there's a plan for more grant funding opportunities down the line. That's going to be through the Treasury Committee, through the endowment. Do you know when they might be set up and ready to kind of hear proposals or what that process might look like?
I think over the next couple months, probably. I know that there is discussion on when the next Treasury Committee meeting is going to be now that the full rest of the committee has been appointed. So I think that'll obviously be a big topic of the discussion for that group as we do it. The endowment is still finalizing a lot of the setup work that it has to do, and like all of the agreements, with kind of market makers and custodians and just all the people that it needs to be KYC'd and KYB'd and set up with in order to move things around it. A lot of that stuff really just does move at a snail's pace, unfortunately, due to legal requirements. It's really fast to do things once you're set up, but the actual setups are very long. So it was obviously the point of the interim grants and kind of this round of funding for D grants was to kind of carry us through towards about the end of the year, with the expectation that as we get towards the end of the year, there's new kind of interim, there's a new longer term grants program getting figured out and set up. Obviously in the meantime, we're, at a labs and things, we're still deploying on things that need to be deployed onto that come up. So like, for instance, like the deck screener thing yesterday, like that's something where we can just like drop money onto it as it's needed without needing to go through a grants program. But, you know, for more people who are like looking to start a project or something and, you know, need some funding for it, or they have an existing thing, I think grants should, generally speaking, really be focused on going to like existing things that are looking to grow because they've proven and have like a bit of a track record. That next round, yeah, like I said, towards the end of the year, I think we'll start to see kind of ongoing application process for grants.
So another question that people are, I don't even know if it's a question or just a conversation. I've heard a number of people that have submitted applications for the CMO position. We're all really excited. We all know that a big part of what the endowment is for is to kind of create a real more robust marketing presence for the ecosystem, which we haven't been able to do for reasons we know. Where are we on that? Are we close? You have some candidates?
Yeah, so I mean, it's I would say we've got the applications up. We've started, I know we have started getting definitely some applications in. There's definitely a couple names as I've been skimming through them, looking at of names that I recognize. Right now, we're mainly just gathering kind of the initial round of applications and getting intros to some folks. We've obviously also got I think at least one headhunter type recruiter working on this. We might have a second one. So, you know, right now I would call this the casting the net phase of it. And we'll probably start most of the kind of the formal conversations with people in a couple weeks. Once we've kind of had the opportunity, had the chance for the wide net to be cast and a good range of applications to come in on things. But I have gotten a lot of pings, both from, you know, members of the community as well as a lot of folks outside, or, you know, like we have a lot of people where, you know, they're partners, they work in other ecosystems, but they know us, they've worked with us, they like us, and, you know, they'll ping us with like, hey, you know, my friend or this person I've worked with, or actually, at least in one case, my husband is like a CMO, you know, and a really experienced crypto marketer. Like, I think they'd be a great fit for this role, and making those connections to us. So there's definitely been like some very good, I think we've gotten at least a couple, 2 or 3 dozen just like straight emails, submissions of resumes and things into the, you know, kind of careers inbox that we have for labs. But then and then on top of that, like I said, the just folks who are reaching out to us and offering introductions and making connections and things. So I'm feeling pretty optimistic about our ability to find someone who will be really good here. But, you know, this is definitely not like finding someone to rebuild your, you know, do some landscaping work where you can just kind of like make a quick post on Facebook and grab them. The total end-to-end process for hiring, you know, someone at this level is probably a 3-month process minimum, right? Because like I said, it's like kind of this 4 to 6 weeks of initial putting things out, gathering a list of names, start doing rounds of interviews. You know, we need someone, especially for me, this person's going to be working like very directly with me a lot, and with Adriano, and with Alexis, our head of product, right? Very kind of critical member of the exec team. And so it's not just a question of, hey, do they make killer memes, but are they actually capable of operating at the strategic level that we need them to do? Do they mesh with the rest of the executive team? You know, marketing and brand is only as good as it is in sync, especially with product and technology, right? It all really has to line up and fit together. And so it's weeks and weeks of interviews with people just to make sure that we're actually getting someone that will vibe and gel with our team. Because of course, the worst thing we could do right now is hire someone who doesn't really mesh with the rest of the executive team, isn't able to do what we need them to do, and then we're back searching for another CMO in 6 months.
Yeah, it totally makes sense. But it is a requirement that they are a dank memer, correct? Like that's what.
Yes, or at least they have to have very good appreciation for dank memes. I think fundamentally we're really, if you read that job description, like I want someone who's a really good narrative person, and can really hit the high level things. So, and they have to have some pretty good crypto experience already. Like, I joke, I'm not hiring someone who doesn't have a hardware wallet. Like, if you have not messed around with this stuff personally and used it, I think I even joked in the job description when I wrote it, and that was a job description that I literally wrote with our team. Ideally you've even like lost money somewhere in crypto or something like that. That's a real like, okay, you've fucked around in enough things that you really know what's going on here. It's not a hard requirement, but
crypto native,
I in general,
crypto native, dank memer, degen, lost money in crypto. You have to have,
but also knows how to run like a 10-person marketing team and work strategically, and that's
that's
it's a very
right there. And that's key,
Yeah.
right? Like, you also have to be able
Yeah.
to like do the job, but
exactly.
But you have to be like, you have to be a crypto guy, and you have to understand why we're here. They have to be aligned with the ethos.
Yeah, well, and I think that's it. Like, it's the when we were Hero, on the Hero side of the house where we do developer tools, the things I talk to the team about there is like, you don't have to be a developer to work in like a non-developer role at Hero, but you do have to like have fucked around with code. Same deal, right? Like, you have to have your own self-custody wallets before. If you don't, that just means you don't care enough about this topic to have played around with it, and you're not the type of person to play around with things, that you're not going to be a fit. Similarly, like, one of the questions I ask people, again, in non-technical roles at Hero, is like, tell me about a time you like use technology to solve a problem, right? If you don't have that mindset of like hacking, or of just being super high agency and hacking around with things to like solve a problem and work around kind of the constraints of the physical world or the system that you live in, like, you're just not going to have the inherent customer empathy and like inherent alignment to our core user base to really understand like how they think, what they want, how to communicate with them. And it also just indicates you're probably not like just the highest agency person on it. So like, that's what we look for there. And I think there's a similar thing here.
I actually love that you're saying all of this stuff, because yes, it's important that understand marketing, you understand how to work with the team in a corporate level, and building relationships and whatnot too, outside of the ecosystem, getting us outside of the echo chamber, so to speak. There was a lot, over the course of the last few months, several people have expressed concerns that the latter was the focus, that it was they're worried that it will be a corporate person without the degen, memer, industry understanding. So I think that there are a lot of people that love what you're saying right now.
Yeah. I the way I think I see it, and this, I'll be honest, this may not be what some of those people want to hear on it, is that the crypto alignment aspects are a minimum bar that I think anyone we're hiring has to clear, but it's not the distinguishing factor, right? The distinguishing factor, the person that we're gonna ultimately hire for this role, the way they're going to distinguish themselves is on the more traditional marketing side and the ability to work with the team, because like that's going to really be the difference between how successful they are and not. But it's the alignment aspects to what we're doing are just kind of like that minimum bar of like, if you're not into this, if you're not wanting to do it, then if you don't get what we're trying to do here, then it's you're not going to be a fit on it.
I love it, man. Love it.
Yeah. I see Tinderly, well, we both have him on stage, but also dropped the question on the replies to the thing. Again, reminder for folks, you can either put your hand up to come on stage if you've got a question, or just reply to the tweet with it, or even shoot me a DM, whatever. How does Stacks Labs view the content creator economy? I view it kind of, I'm not sure there's like an official Stacks Labs position on it. I can tell you kind of what my view on it is, which is it's kind of a couple-fold thing. We talked a lot during Step 31 about the desire to have like a comprehensive ecosystem here, right? Or like it's if you go back and you look at like how we talk about what our mission is, it's to activate the Bitcoin economy, and that crosses a lot of different dimensions, right? DeFi is obviously a huge part of that. Bitcoin is like digital gold. It is an asset. People want to save it. They want to be able to borrow against it. They want to do all of these things that you want to do with like your most valuable asset on it. But it's also something that forms, again, the basis of this future economy that lets people contract and work and exchange value across borders without having to deal with governments all the time. There's more to that than just like your savings or whatever. And so I think the culture around it and letting people embrace that is a really big, important thing, because I don't know, people like soul to things, I think, overall. And then so that's kind of like the long term, how I view it. And then in the shorter term, it's just more of a question of it. I think it's a really powerful tool for promoting what we're doing with folks. And I think that's where like the partnership here, like with DeOrganized and with other folks in the ecosystem who are working on content and things, like attracting users to stacks, keeping people engaged, giving them, a sense of community to be with here is a really powerful part of our ongoing growth.
I love that. I love that. And Tinderly, I'm assuming by the hearts that answers your question satisfactorily. Tinderly's been making a ton of content, by the way, like permissionlessly, with permission, using our brand, but also just kind of going out, doing a ton of stuff, getting involved. And we have a very robust grassroots level, or in the trenches level, community growing. The Stacks AI Guild, which Hero and 300 put together, is doing a ton of great work. Obviously, there's a lot of like indie devs that are just cranking all the time. Kai's killing stuff. Rocky and Blockface are doing awesome stuff. We got Crypto Dude. I'm starting to list people, and now I'm gonna like forget people. So I'm like, I don't want to say like Zenitron with Skullcoin, building some engaging experiences. So many things happening on the grassroots level, but as like the content creator and or engagement economy, I do think that's actually going to be very important for the retail cycle, which is coming up next, personally.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see what happens on the retail versus the institutional side. It's very hard to predict. And I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure where we are in terms of a retail cycle coming in. At some point, retail's going to come and start back up and in. It's actually just crazy to think about how large Bitcoin and like the crypto ecosystem has gotten in the last couple of years, with the vast majority of retail and people still pulled back and not wanting anything to do with it. And when that changes and they come in, that's going to be just a great surge forward, because that's also going to just drive everything.
Personally, I think that comes in full boat in the next cycle, like after the halving, like based on, that's just my prediction. Obviously we want to build for it, so we're prepared for it when it really hits. I think we're a few years away from that really hitting. We're still in the infancy of the institutional adoption phase right now. It's crazy where we are in the last year, by the way, in that front. Like, amazing.
That very well may be. I don't even bother trying to predict it. Like, my view is just go heads down and just build stuff, and then at some point people will use it, which is kind of it. All right, I see a couple more questions got dropped in the replies here. So one on what's status on the wallet integration. It's technically done. We're waiting on like the partners marketing and PR side of things, because there's also, I mentioned this last time, I think there's like a third party involved too. And so it is just a matter of like trying to push forward and get everyone to sign off on things so we can actually make good announcements and get like a nice PR boost from it. But unfortunately, as we've talked about a lot, when you're dealing with partners, you are dependent on their timelines as well as your own. So we're waiting to see what that is, and should have. I'm now hoping for next week, but we'll see. Similar. Let's see. Wait, I just saw one that now disappeared for me. From Jerk. There we go. As CEO, what's the biggest vulnerability of Stacks at its current state? That is a good question. Um, I'm laughing slightly because I think stacks among every crypto ecosystem, there's a lot of them. How do you pick just one? How do you pick your favorite child, George? Um, I think the answer to a degree there is like the complexity of what we're trying to do. There's so many moving parts and things that have to come together to land. Like I was, Andre and I, who's hanging out here, looking at the planning and stuff for like dual stacking launch coming up, and just the number of moving parts that go into it because like dual stacking, like the tech, shipping the contract to the network, sure,
Yeah.
like that's pretty straightforward and easy to do. But
So
what else
pay
do
attention.
you, how much do we try and align other
Segue into
announcements at the same
fine-tuning
time to drive things,
with
again, especially there because it creates external dependencies. We're not just, even though we've consolidated all the core work into Stacks Labs and that's all in one place, there's still lots of builders in the ecosystem that we work with. There's all these integration partners. There's press. One of the funniest things that's always been a trial for companies when you're making announcements and stuff is like, are you going to line up all this work, get everything ready for an announcement, and then, I don't know, some politician gets caught with his pants down the day of that, or Apple decides to like drop a new announcement or something, and then all the press goes and covers that, and you just spent like weeks and weeks and weeks prepping for a thing. And so I think, again, because of the size of the vision of what we're pursuing, where we're not just trying to build like one crypto app or something, we're trying to actually build this fully integrated economy, and it's connected to places, and it's got all these external connections that it needs and dependencies to things. It's just that level of complexity, especially while we are trying to grow in size and don't have as much leverage in relationships with other people, right? If we're dealing with the largest exchanges in the world, which like we are, obviously we're listed on all of those, we have like good relationships with them, but we're still kind of the ones we have to accommodate them more than they have to accommodate us, because the simple reality is we're still at the point in the cycle where we're not Bitcoin, right? If you're not that Bitcoin is a central thing, right? But if you're say Ethereum, right? Most exchanges need Ethereum more than Ethereum needs them. And we are in the opposite place where we still need those partners more than they need us. And so it's never fun, I think, being the team in the position of, in basically where you need more from them than they need from you. And this actually kind of even goes back to the content creator question, right? Which is a lot of that is sentiment based, right? And so the more that we can drive like good engagement on Twitter and create the sense of momentum around stacks and things, and the more that people feel like they really, this is where the future is, and so they need to be dealing with.
So let's go ahead and bring this screen down here, and we will be right back.
GM.
GM models.
Big shout out to our marketing partners, Stacking Flow. Be right back right after a word from our sponsors. And some fun earn rounds and have some fun. Lovely Friday to get together and earn and pack your bags with the most based in assets. Awesome guy. Scan that QR code, guys. Get into the know. Earn 10% on your stack. With
We don't hear a piece,
pieces in the office hours right now with Alex Miller. So here, let me run this BitFlow ad. So now a word from BitFlow. And it is time for Find Earn rounds with the Skullcoin crew. What's up, Zinni? How are we doing today, brother?
Okay, let the hunt begin. Yeah, we're ready. So everything is fine. Leaderboard is working, and we are ready to go.
All right.
Rikana, will you
So
play?
I
Is that
pull up my screen here to get us started. And we are going to the Skullcoin BTC account, guys, on X. Getting ready for these Find or Earn rounds. Look, the first thing that you need to do and know about the Find or Earn rounds, first of all, is to follow Skullcoin BTC on X, and then we are liking and sharing the broadcast stream out to be eligible for your prizes. You're also going to need to like and share the game rounds that you are playing, and dropping your locations underneath the post there. So here we go. Let me wait for Skullcoin to pop up, and I'll show you exactly what the process looks like. But yeah, get ready, hunters. We are live with Find or Earn rounds.
Okay, let's play the whitelist round.
All right, starting off with the whitelist round. So
I want to count down.
I'll do a countdown.
I can.
Count down. Let's
Oh,
go.
Oh,
go ahead,
GP
Hunter. Have at it.
can.
No, have at it, Hunter. That's,
Okay.
that's you, brother.
Okay, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Hande, Kamaska.
Hajime.
Vamos.
Let's
Hajime.
Let the hunt begin.
Let the fun
Yeah,
begin.
let's go.
Happy
Okay.
Friday.
First game
Here,
is easy, and we have 4 games more. Get ready, everyone. Like report the games, because that's how we grow. We're growing every day. We have like 5-6 followers new every day. Let's go.
Very much on
And
the
when
way.
we will have the winner here, we'll launch the next game after.
This thing is just not loading. Let me try to refresh this one more time. Alright, here we go. So we are looking for a droid for our whitelist round. Boom, boom. Look at this droid. He has a nice coffee getting ready for his day. We are liking and sharing the game round. Boom, boom. Then we are clicking this link right here. It'll take you to your starting location. So this will be your starting location here, right in Google Maps. Boom.
Okay, the
We
winner
are
for
taking
the
a look.
first game.
Where are we looking at?
Yeah, you can just show how to play, move forward.
Yeah,
And the
so
winner for the first
moving
game
forward.
is assistant boyfriend. He was faster, like than 300 for 9 seconds.
wow, close match there.
We have
I
all
saw
players
three
who found the
off-
locations. We have Sukuna BTC, Afrobeats, Make a Way, Morris White, Kirchhoff, and Dialamin, Leslie, Zakaria Karube, Phantom Hive, Shenkomai, all of them play the games. Good game, and we start the next game. All the games will be easy today, so try to be just the first. Not skip open games, because every the new player can win.
All right. Good luck, Hunter. Got to be quick with this one.
Let's go.
We're ahead of the Skullcoin account right now,
Monday.
so that is Skullcoin BTC. Boom, boom.
Okay, let's go.
Here.
Who wanna count down?
I'll do a countdown in 5,
Let's go.
4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Ande.
Man.
Llegalo.
So we are refreshing the Stablecoin BTC account on X here. Looking for this game round, and we are looking for a B Pepe riding a bike with his buddy right here. I don't know who this is. Is this music from a different dimension again? I do not know, but B Pepe
Yeah,
riding
probably.
a bike. What's with the long face, man? Riding a bike is good exercise, good for your body. So I don't know what it is, man. It's not good. It's not good. I don't know what that's about. Maybe we could clear him up by finding him in Canada. We actually got Blockface in the building. Good morning, Blockface. We are headed to this starting location here. Let me bring it up for us.
Okay, the Digit Hash was the first, but he didn't like and repost the game. And Cody was the second, he didn't like the repost the game also. So we skip to these two players.
Oh, that means I win the prize, doesn't it? Doesn't it? I
Yeah,
thought
that
established
means
I
that
get the prize goes to.
winner.
No, we'll let it go to the if we had other winners, we can give it to them.
Okay, listen everyone, you have to like and report the game before you play.
And the live stream.
No, Digit Hash, too late.
Did I get it right? Because I became slow at posting, but I got it.
Unfortunately, Alex Rugg right after Trip came up and asked asked them what's success look like for stacks in the next 3 to 6 months kind of thing, and Alex was about to respond and he just went, yeah, he just lost it. So we lost it. It was and then he couldn't get back on, so that he just ended up closing the space. I was up there like, somebody please come up and save the rest of everybody else from a peace, love, music monologue session while we're getting Alex back up here. It was getting a little awkward. So Trip was coming back up and then it ended. So unfortunately, it was a short episode, but I thought a short space, but I thought that I was encouraged by a lot of what Alex was saying. I really liked the idea behind a CMO that's in alignment with the with the values of the ecosystem and what we're all here for.
Yeah, that's true. So, how we manage this one, Peace? What do you think? We give the prize to Digen, or we just keep it to the next game, but it's the next game is not the Pepe game, it's the Leo game, or we just give this prize. It's up to you. Or we can just afford one mistake and say like, okay, man, that's last time.
Just like and share the game rounds, guys.
So is it like and share the game rounds, guys. So I'm sorry. So this is the next winner that did like and reshare, or someone who did not like and reshare?
Yeah, they did like and reshare, but after the game. So how we decide?
I think we'll let it ride till next round, and that way people know they have to like and repost the game round, and they have to.
So next round will be double price. It will be Pepe price and Leo price. Okay.
So and that way, everyone has a fair shot at the next round. So maybe that's actually the way to handle that going forward. Instead of giving it to the next person, the prize goes to the next round.
Okay, Digit Hash saying he did it before playing. Okay, we give him the prize because we are here for the players this time. But next time, be ready. I see notification who didn't repost and like and start playing. Because in fast games, I just see you just rush. Okay, let's play the next game. Digit Hash is the winner.
Let's go.
Get ready. The Leo game. Please, can you count down, please?
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Let's go. Let the hunt begin.
Ande. Jimmy.
Come on,
Yeah.
andiamo. Vamonos. Hyundai, Jicalo.
70k Leo for the winner.
Oh, Leo is on top of the peep boo.
Leo is fine. It's like a meme, you know, like he's fine. Leo is brave cat.
The last game I almost got it by just one click because I saw that it was in a park and I saw a park and then I was slow at posting.
Yeah, sometimes it's happen, you know, man. Okay, the winner, the first person who found it, it's nolofin.btc.
Oh. Yeah, these
Congrats,
people are
Nolofin
getting really
is
fast.
a winner. He's a winner of this game, and we move on in 1 minute. We play the next Flat Earth round. Thanks our sponsors. We make this game real because we have partners. All these meme coins participate and give away these prizes. Fine Turn is like the new gen of giveaways, and it's a new genre of games. Together with the organized show, we grow.
Let's go. Very interesting.
Boom.
Where did I want to? Oh, in the Sigma chat for the Skullcoin Sigma chat yesterday, I can't remember who it was now. One of the chads was mentioning that there's kind of like a 20-second delay from when we're actually streaming to so the countdown of only 5 seconds doesn't really give the live viewers any advantage because the game round actually starts on X before the stream catches up to the time. So I'm thinking we might want to do something. We might want to add a different wrinkle than, I mean, we can still have a countdown, but I think we might want to add a different wrinkle to the live stream. Like maybe we give, we can even display it throughout the whole show. Like there's a hashtag that they have to include with their, or something that they have to include with their submission, and they can only get that on the live stream.
Yeah, we'll figure out. Like it means like we should like count down slowly because like if countdown starts, it means the game will be soon, right? So it means for the people who like listen our countdown, they have to get ready to start playing. That round will be dropped soon. Yeah.
I think if we give them like a different word every day that they have to include, like there's a secret keyword for the show, and we'll leave it on screen throughout. Like they don't have to watch for the whole show just to hear the word. Like as soon as the show launches, we'll give them the word.
Yeah, that's a nice idea. Yeah, it's like in BDSM. Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. It'll give them the ability to that. Then they have to actually be watching the live stream to play.
Yeah.
You know, because they have to know the word, and we'll just leave the word up on the screen. We'll put the word up on the screen every day so that they know. We can have it up on for the whole game, for the whole game segment.
It's not the stop word. It's opposite. It's a word that run. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So we are ready to launch. I will count down. We start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Let's go.
Vamos,
andiamo, vámonos.
Yeah, we keep countdowns because it's fun, but we will just upgrade. You have to find this flat sign. That's picture you have to find exact location, not like approximate one. And remember, we have like seed phrase hunt coming. We're still waiting. We're working on disclaimer for legal PCNC and make it fully legal. These games with tax foundation. Okay, let me check. We have a lot of players who already dropped the location. This is not right one.
I must be tired today, boys, because I'm feeling hungry, and it's early for me to start feeling hungry. It's been a long week. How you guys been doing?
I never.
Hanging in.
Xenia, I know you don't eat in the underworld, so you never. Are you always hungry, or just in a constant state of unsatiation?
I'm hungry like Steve Jobs said, you have to be hungry. I'm just following.
Nice.
We are in very good relationship with Steve here. Okay. Who is hungry also? Rihanna, are you hungry for the winnings?
Always angry, say always angry. Angry as a lion.
Good. Okay, the winner is Isaac. He was the first here.
Let's go.
Last fingers. And we have the last game, Purchase Tax. Hit the road, Jack. It's interesting game. We start in 1 minute. Everyone get back from the previous game. We'll play the last game for today.
Let's go. Get back.
We
Check
have a
out.
lot of new players who want to be in whitelist.
Monday.
Just wait. Our whitelist is really full. We continue on Monday. We play every weekday in 9:30 a.m. on the organized show, and sometimes we drop the game on weekend, and you can ask for whitelist. Okay, the last game. Who want to count down, please?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Let's go.
Andiamo. Andy,
Come on.
let's go. Come on, Scan.
Okay, this is time limit game. We give you 5 minutes. This is my black stand, core glass. You see the black stand? It's a 5 minutes. You have 5 minutes, hunters, to find the horses on the road. Hit the road, Jack. Let's go, hunters. More likes and reposts. That's how we grow. Every new player is a person. Every name, every win, verified.
Take my horse on the old-time road. I'm gonna.
Right
Yeah.
to the good, no.
Let's go, bro.
Let's go.
Are we forming a barbershop quartet as we speak?
Yeah.
Sweet Adeline.
Who's saying that? Is that Peace?
I don't know.
If I say goodbye to you tonight.
Ah.
Oh,
Kumbaya, my lord.
Okay, I see like it's like 3 minutes more. 3 minutes, and if there will be no winner,
What?
the price will go as tomorrow, and it will be bigger. It's far from starting location, obviously. It's not close for
It's
this
not.
game.
Letting me drop in. Piss me off.
Our pro players and top players see the patterns, like the mountains on the right side, the road, the terrain, texture.
Why is it not?
Okay, we have 30 reposts and 34 likes for our Leo game. It's very good. 38
Make
likes
sure-
for the Pepe game. Chat, you are doing well. Good game, chat, for today.
Yeah, make sure you
Yeah,
guys are
bro.
liking and sharing out the broadcast stream as well. And Google
Yeah,
Maps
and
doesn't
check
want me to drop that to
organize
there.
Don't forget.
Why is it doing that? Thanks.
Okay, chat, 2 minutes more.
I guess it just doesn't want me to play today.
Not letting you.
It won't let me drop in.
Yeah, just
It's
refresh
very-
the page. Try to refresh
just
the
did.
whole page. Sometimes it's lagging, but usually the maps are working well all the time. Okay, chat, 1 minute more. If there will be no winner, we'll take this price and make it bigger tomorrow, and tomorrow we'll start giving you the clues. But since it's just a road, you can just split the screen and teleport on the road, play faster. And this is final, like jackpot game shows again everyone that's a fair competition. This game can be solved by AI. This game can be gamed. So there will be there can be no winner. It means like nobody can just try to use any stuff to crack this game. Okay, there is a small amount of black sand.
Yeah. Google Maps is not dropping that little guy. I don't know what's wrong.
Oh, at all?
Yeah.
You can't do it either?
Yeah, I'm trying right now. It's not working.
Yeah, I see like the GPSC just refreshes the page and it works for him.
Maybe they must have had an update in the middle of the game. Or something.
Yeah. Okay, chat, seems like there is no winner. I win this again.
Let's go.
Game Master wins.
By the way, again, I don't know if you guys talked about it early because I was still in Alex's space at the time, but congratulations, Zenny, on shipping the leaderboard. I know some people were very excited to check out and see where they were.
Yeah.
And, we actually see that as a great tool for helping us promote and let people know about these find to earn rounds and get more engagement over time as well. So,
Yeah, thanks. So the leaderboard is not just a leaderboard. It's already the database where the X accounts connects to Ledger wallet, like Xverse wallet, so Stacks wallets. It's a connection database between Stacks wallets and X Twitter accounts.
nice. So you can actually tell who is on. You can actually get the players' X accounts through their position on the leaderboard. I didn't know.
Right. You just click on X and you see the real person. So it means like every like new guy, new person who see our games, who see leaderboard, he can just see it's real people. All the winners is real people from X. It's different people. We banned about 70 alt accounts. So this like 160 is real. Okay, thanks everyone. I dropped the location. There is no winner for Jack last game today, and tomorrow the price will be bigger. Good game, everyone.
All right, awesome stuff. Awesome episode of Find to Earn, or at least where I caught it. Let's. We got a few minutes before. I know we're targeted for 10:30 for the SIP call, and we usually take a little bit of an intermission before that. But we have a few minutes, and I haven't had a chance to talk to you guys at all. So you guys want to stick around for a little bit of chat, catch up on the day, where things are at. What do you guys think about? So. I loved the conversation with Alex. I really love what he had to say about what they're looking for in a CMO. And I don't know if there's maybe I missed his last space, so maybe there was some conversation around this before. But he made a point of saying that the baseline is that they are a crypto native, used multiple wallets, does self custody. Some degen aspect. They've invested and shown some risk in the ecosystem and maybe lost a little bit of money along the way. Dank memer, meme skills are a plus. Plus having legitimate marketing background and awareness. So I think that's kind of what we all want, right?
Right.
A marketing capable degen is what we want.
Yeah, we are degen here. We are doing marketing. Okay.
You are doing the marketing anyway. Yes.
Yeah, I have to go to Underworld. I have some business there.
All right. Well, hopefully your business is fruitful, and we will see you on Monday, sir. Are you guys GP? Are you guys doing is that tonight? You guys are doing rounds in the Zest Discord?
Yeah, we got Find or Earn Fridays in the Zest Discord. Trying to figure out if I'm gonna be able to so my family's always hitting me up with last minute plans and stuff. So I'm trying to hash that out. I don't know if we're going to be doing a nightly or not, but we do have Find or Earn rounds in the Zest Discord. So I will keep you guys in the know. I'll keep you guys posted.
Yeah. So keep me up, like DM me. Okay.
Yeah, I'll DM you. Have a good day, Zenny.
Life.
All right. Right on. See you, Zenny. Thank you, man. Always a pleasure. So yeah, let's catch up real quick. What do you guys think about what's new, guys? How you guys been?
Doing good, man. Doing good.
You're ready for the weekend, my man.
Yeah. It's been like one of those weeks that it's been very taxing, but very good. It's been good to me. So I'm really, really blessed, and I think that all of the innovation that is going on in our ecosystem, all of the building, all of the different ideas that are being nurtured, through D grants. I'm very bullish on it all, man. I'm feeling good. For sure. And I'm glad to be here.
For sure. Me too, man. Me too. What about you, Hunter? Feeling good?
Yeah, I'm doing great. And also, just expecting about what's going on in the ecosystem, like having a CMO who's a DGN, who's in the trenches and knows what's going on. And also, I'm peeling my eyes for that pizza item. So I'm always on that timeline to see what's going on.
Nice. Very nice. Very nice. Tenderly getting in there, asking a question, getting his question read out loud and answered by the CEO. How you feeling about that, buddy? Still with us?
I don't really. I would say I'm cool, but yeah, didn't really get any clarity to a bit about it, but find there are other ways or other times to ask questions too.
It's always good to ask, man. If you can come up with a question to ask, it's always good to put something out there. I mean, you don't want to ask like a million questions, but asking one is always worth it.
Yeah, it was a good question too, because within the SIP 31, one of the things that was addressed is incentives for people on the ground floor, community as well. So that's who I think of whenever I think of our content creators. So it was a really, really good question.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't think he was in a situation where he really couldn't answer it from a Stacks Labs perspective, really. He had to answer from a personal perspective. And so that might kind of be why Tim really feels like the answer wasn't really a complete answer because it wasn't really from the perspective he was looking for. But I do think that they do see that as being the creator economy, the content creator economy as being an important part of the future. And part of the conversation we went to was like the difference between, like, right now we're definitely full boat into the institutional adoption cycle, where institutions are rushing in, they're adopting crypto, they're adopting Bitcoin. A lot of people building on a lot of the other alt chains like Ethereum, Solana, Sui, even getting some, Aptos, and Stacks is right in the middle of that, being the leading Bitcoin L2. We are getting some institutional looks over the last several months. There's competing factors here, but I do think that, and personally, I think that all needs to kind of get a little bit more established, where the regulatory clarity and how everything's going to be designed, and then once those guys are established, the institutions, the big corporations, the cities and towns are starting to put crypto on their balance sheets and stuff, then you're going to start to see big business pushing more towards retail adoption. And so as you start getting the retail push, we obviously need to have content and engaging experiences that are on chain, that are expanding the ecosystem. And we're building that kind of stuff right here now with Skullcoin, with BoostX and Cryptonauts and the Gigaverse stuff, and what we're doing with the Organized and our plans and projects like Zero Authority DAO, BNS adoption. There's all sorts of things happening in our ecosystem. Roth is building a playground with Fact Fund that's got some really cool degen stuff on the more, deck side of things, kind of similar to the Charisma vibe, and this is all like the trenches grassroots stuff. We also have some really already established, well-positioned, finance-oriented apps like Bitflow, like Velar, like Stacking DAO, like Zest, like Granite, like Alex. Like there are these entities here now that are also going to help push these content economies, these creator economies, as we start getting more liquidity into the ecosystem. So we're here at a good time. I do think we need to be patient. I don't think the normal retail users are quite ready yet. But we will be having a conversation about WebAuthn soon. Here we've got a whole lineup of people involved in Clarity 4. And Rafa had proposed WebAuthn and passkeys to be native passkey WebAuthn into Clarity. That's being added for Clarity 4. Clarity 4 vote is coming up, and we will be back at 10:30. So we have about 22 minutes. You guys have anything else you want to chat about before we take an intermission? I can always just screen share and throw some stuff up in the middle after we play some ads and whatnot.
Yeah, I think that people should get activated to get into the Zest and Stacking DAO Discord. I want to throw this, this QR code up there. What happened? Oh, I am just holding control on my keyboard, and it's just zooming in. But yeah, there's a QR code right there next to Peace to jump into the Zest Discord. We have those Spine Turn rounds tonight around 8 p.m. ET in the meme coin corner in the Zest Discord. So lots of fun. Also get into the Stacking DAO Discord. We have our monthly poker tournament on Saturday, tomorrow at 3 p.m. ET. Registration for guests is opening up around noon. So that's 12 p.m. ET for guests. But if you are already in the Stacking DAO Discord and you're active, I will be sending out priority seats to our stacking chads there in the Discord. We have about 150 seats this month, so yeah, man, get in there. Go get active, guys. There's plenty of ways to pack your bags. There's prizes in STSDX and Stacking DAO Discord, and with the Zest Meme Coin Sprint, I just want to give a big old shout out to all of our community founders that are sponsoring it. We got Jack Bin Switch with Rue, Rubes with Leo. We got Silky Jones with Flat. Martin Taylor is sponsoring with Nasty. We've got Jamie F sponsoring with Peggy, and we also have SDSDX from Stacking DAO in there too. So the Zest community chest is packed full of these 10 assets. And whenever you win one of them, you're packing your bags at the bottom, right? So these Zest community chests have a potential of, a lot of upside there. So some really based assets in there, and I think you guys should go pack your bags with Zest. There's multiple ways to pack your bags with Zest. So get active, guys.
Right on. Get active, guys. Participate. Anything else before we take an intermission? I'd love to have a 19-minute break here in between the. If you guys are all good, do you got anything else you want to share?
Yeah. We're waiting for some ideas on Cook to Earn, so that we can just bring another vibe, so people can jump in and whilst they're watching the show.
Yeah, I have all sorts of ideas for what we can actually put out there for people to cook on. Some ideas for things that like ecosystem things that we can have them make content about. And but I would love to hear other people's ideas as well. Like if you guys actually do have any ideas for that, drop them in the comments below the live stream or the live chat, whatever you prefer. But we'll actually have a little bit more time to follow up with chats underneath the live stream, or conversate, comments underneath. But definitely, and you guys, if you're not following the Stacks AI Guild, 300, The Boys, Nosferatu, Bold Peak, Hero Gamer, you guys should also be following Tinderly GP, obviously. Follow DeOrganized, get your stuff in. But yes, Cook to Earn. I do have more plans on ways that we can incorporate that into some of the things we're doing, both in the live streams, maybe the morning show, and just some other content contests that we're working on. We're looking on a number of things. There's a post we're going to do. There's a bounty we're going to sponsor that Romaldo and I have been working on. That's not a Cook to Earn necessarily, but there could also be some opportunities for those with a little bit better AI skill to participate in. And then I think Cook to Earn it's going to happen. It's just a matter of I have reached a lot of my bandwidth limits. Like I can only do one thing at a time, and it's just like there's so much to do. But that is, part of the whole reason for us to be here is that we're creating engaging experiences for our audience and helping people grow and focusing on the ecosystem. So one thing we can do is create content creation opportunities that support things throughout the ecosystem, our marketing partners, our strategic partners in the ecosystem, and how we can help amplify them through facilitating contests like that. So very interested in doing more of that kind of stuff.
Right on. Yeah, I love these little social fight campaigns. They're fun, and then also very, very rewarding to the community, and signaling support that we are here for the ethos, man. We're trying to extend opportunities to those that are grinding in the trenches day in and day out. So, yeah, man.
Right on. All right, guys, we'll sign off. We'll take a brief intermission. You guys stay tuned. We will be back at 10:30 with Hero and Hattie and the group. There's a bunch of guys that slated to come in. I don't even have everyone's name in front of me right now. But it's going to be some big brains coming in talking about Clarity 4. It's going to be a great conversation. So make sure you stay tuned. We'll see you guys in about 15 minutes. And you all have a blessed rest of your day. I am Peace Love Music. We are DeOrganized Media, coming at you live on Bitcoin Live, decentralized broadcasting every Monday through Friday. We're in there until it hurts. See, we got
in there like swimwear.
Like swimwear. Hana didn't get his Jedi sword.
Mine is not charged, so I have to charge it.
GP is the victor again. Pumpy, good
On
morning.
Monday.
Good morning, Pumpy. I gotta figure out who's behind Pumpy. You guys-
Undoxed team.
What?
I think they're undoxed.
They're undoxed or doxed?
They're not doxed. I don't
They're
think.
not doxed. So we don't know
Who's
who.
behind Pumpy?
They had a huge Pumpy. That was like
Things that make you go.
400. Yeah. Good morning, Pumpy.
Pumpy.
All right, guys. We will be back in a little while. Y'all have a blessed rest of your day, and definitely come back for what's going to be one of the best SIP shows ever. Talk to y'all soon. Peace out.
Every post is a signal. Give it fuel. BoostX, the social value layer.
Let's go. Hello, how you doing, my friends? I turned all my lights off. I think I was done with the show for today. What's up, everybody? It's Peace, Love, Music back with another episode of the Stacks Improvement and Innovation Show brought to you by DeOrganized. We've got a great episode today. We are going to be talking more about Clarity 4 and the addition of WebAuthn, native WebAuthn, and passkey functionality for Clarity 4 upgrade. We got a bunch of OGs here, and let's get into it. We have, I don't see Hero. I always bring on Hero first. Let's bring on, I got Hattie. Hattie, how you doing today?
Hey, how you doing?
What's up? We got GPSD in the house. Blockface is going to chat with us in the conversation here. Bryce looking nice. What's up, man? How you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing well. How's it going?
Good, good. Eric's in the house. Eric, I really liked, we actually picked up your conversation yesterday. We were actually, I hope you don't mind, we were screen share streaming while you guys were, was that yesterday or the day before?
Oh, nice. Okay.
So yeah, it was an awesome conversation. We thought it was great content for us, and it now segues nicely kind of into this conversation too. So good stuff there.
Appreciate it.
We got Gary Reiger in the house. Gary saying he may not be able to participate much, but any contribution we get from you, sir, we greatly appreciate. And here is Hero, our Hero. How you doing today, Hero? You with us? Hero might be having some technical difficulties. Oh, there he is.
Oh, yeah. Hey, what's up? Here.
What's happening? How you doing today, Hero?
I like it. Yeah, great. Thanks for coming up. But is Rocky good or something?
Hero, you're kind of like sounds like you got some kind of like phasing issue. You're coming in and out.
Yeah.
Let's see if he's all right. He's going to take a walk. Is Rafa? I heard he was. Coming on. He was on the list. Let me actually send him the link directly here. Cool. Would definitely love to have his, since he was the one that made the post, submit, suggesting adding this.
Yeah, definitely.
So, Hero's completely gone. All right. Well, I was normally how I segue into this is to ask Hero what his agenda is exactly, and I don't have that. That's okay. I know that we're here to talk about Clarity 4 again. By the way, thank you guys for joining us. Always appreciate the time, and these conversations are great. I think they really are helpful for the ecosystem in general, the broader community, to get an idea of some of the technical things going on in the space. We are going to be talking about Clarity 4 today, and specifically the topic of WebAuthn and passkey, native WebAuthn passkey functionality added to the Clarity 4 upgrade. Who wants to go first to talk about that? Who's Bryce? You're the author of Clarity 4, right?
Right. Yeah, I'm the author of the SIP. This specific item really just came from the community. Like you said before, Rafa was a big one pushing it. So I would not call myself an expert at all in this, but I wrote the SIP and I'm implementing it. But I'm really excited to hear how people might use this thing, because there's like basically all kinds of, as I started looking into it, I realized how many use cases there are for these these other kinds of signatures, basically.
So from a very non-technical fundamental position, I can kind of go into how. So our roadmap for DeOrganized, we have a really cool, MVP. Here's Rafa too. That's great.
Oh,
So
nice.
I'll make this quick. So we have a really great website, beta version, like MVP that Trippin Monkey built out for us using his Rising Tide protocol. It's creator centric. We're looking to go into our V2, and a lot of the content, even the use case, like it's going to be like you said, your user account is tied to your Stacks wallet. So you're engaging as a user with signature transactions only predominantly. There will be engagement for transactions, sending crypto, engaging with NFTs and that sort of thing. There's an identity piece, obviously, and then engaging with your audience as a creator and other tools. But there's not a lot of financial stuff involved. And it also can appeal to non-native users in some of the functionality and tools we're going to be providing. So in my understanding, we'll be able to use that. We'll be able to use the embedded wallet option for people that are onboarding that aren't really crypto native, but are familiar with passkey functionality. So we can, and we're not becoming a custodian for them. They still have the wallet exists on our platform, but it's their wallet. They got everything in their passkey. Their passkey access is on their machine. It's a little safer than the enclave functionality. And I'm speaking over my head there, like the TEE. From what I've heard from people that know better than me, it's a little bit more secure than a TEE option like Privy, which is still an option in the marketplace. It's still a functional option, but it's a little bit more secure, but still easy onboard, much easier onboarding process. It abstracts away obviously the seed phrase and having to have a wallet app and engaging that way. You can just go to my app. You have a wallet there. That wallet has your stuff in it. But you're still custodying your wallet. So it's just a much easier onboarding for non-crypto native users is what it seems like to me. I don't know what the other options are. And Rafa's here, so we can actually have him speak to that. Good morning, brother. How you doing today?
Hey, peace, love, hey, everybody. Nice to see everybody on stage. Blackface, Brees, Eric. I see you really fit, Eric. GP, Hattie, and Hero. How's everyone?
Rafa, the last time Eric came on here, he made me jealous. He was rocking his Fact Fund tee.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, maybe I should go grab mine.
Absolutely. Actually, there's more t-shirts coming from Nobody Famous, so fingers crossed we'll have one for everyone who needs it imperatively.
Let's go. So Rafa, why don't you tell us a little bit about why you proposed WebAuthn? What do you see it as? What do you see it as? What's the value you think it brings to Clarity 4?
Yeah, great question. Peace, love. The short answer is, how do you onboard your mom? Is it going to be with an email? Is it going to be with your normal seed phrase that you have to write down or engrave somewhere and then hide and then lose your money? Is it going to be through a third party? And knowing my mom, the best way for her, like sometimes she even forgets her own passwords, but she never forgets the passkey of her phone or being able to scan her face. So back in February, I started looking into this, prompted by Freeger, and I stumbled around essentially Stacks not supporting that encryption algorithm to be able to securely store that passkey inside of the device secured enclave. And then I started binging on videos by the ex-co-founder of Ledger and how he had tried to jailbreak some of these devices and sort of describe the bad and the good, the bad and the ugly around passkeys. And yeah, I really thought that this could essentially, me as a builder, I'm not going to lie, squeeze everybody out. I'm able to go from the app directly to the users from their device. And that is huge. It removes any sort of need to integrate any sort of third party or that doesn't have any open source code, or the complexity around managing the seed phrase itself and the wallets and all these things that I would still have to learn. Well, here I can just simply use that passkey, which is supported by all of our devices today. You can pay with your credit card. More than 1 billion users have actually tried the passkey system. So that's essentially it. The goal is to onboard my mom, and she's going to be able to scan her passkey really easily, and in the background she'll have a decentralized Stacks wallet governed by her device.
Love it.
It sounds obvious. It also kind of, because one of the other solutions there would be custodial wallet, where they're logging in with a log on and the wallet exists on your app entirely, and you're storing their keys, and now that's obviously a lot more risk to the provider at that point. You don't want to be a custodial provider if you can avoid it. That's kind of like the opposite. So it still allows self-custody, but you get the
absolutely. That is a great point.
In the wallet,
yeah, exactly. So that is really key, because we've seen, like, through the years, finance has become very regulated. There's all sorts of rules not to be essentially a custodian. Like, you have to go through all sorts of AML, KYC. It's very, very it's technically very difficult to comply with these rules. And here, the user owns their own key. They're not trusting a third party, even though perhaps somebody in the panel can describe some of these third-party solutions. But for me, as a native crypto, I think that this is sort of like two paradigms colliding, and we're enabling sort of normies to become one of us, in the sense that they will own their own key. I would potentially see this as more like of a hot wallet to start with, because there could be some issues at the edge if you synchronize your device and your passkey goes to another device. But apart from that, this is really secured. Like, it's stored inside of the enclave of the device, and Brice and Eric or anyone who wants to add on into the security assumption and so on. But from my understanding, this is really world class.
So, Bryce, Eric, you guys have anything based on what we've been talking about? What's your guys' opinions, and or what can you guys add?
Hey, Rafa, can you? Yeah, so I haven't done too much research into this signature algorithm. I have like a high-level overview of like kind of how SecP, well, it's called SecP 256R1, which is kind of like an improved or enhanced government version of SecP 256K1. That's what it seems like. But can you walk through the flow of what you were envisioning of how to onboard your mom, and how this new signature algorithm in Clarity fits into that whole flow process?
Yeah, so from a user's perspective, not too technical, I'd say, today you can compare this with other apps. Like Pump Fund has a good app, and the onboarding process is really good. You can buy crypto with Apple Pay, for example, and just one click away from having crypto in the system. Here it would be similar, I guess. The user signs into the app. It can be a mobile app. Usually users love that, but it can even be a web app, which means that you don't even need the permissions that you usually do with iOS and Google store. And when you sign up with your passkey, essentially the passkey is stored, the public passkey is stored inside of the contract itself. So the contract is being deployed in the background. People like AIBTC are doing something similar where they deploy an AI agent contract principle, which is providing the user some sort of levers on how to parameter what can be done inside that smart wallet, and also gives the agent another sort of user principle, but this time managed by the AIBTC team, can essentially assist the user on their behalf. But long story short, you connect yourself on the app. It deploys a smart contract wallet, a Stacks contract principle with your passkey public key inside of it. Every time you sign with your passkey, it verifies inside the code, thanks to all the wonderful work that the core engineers and Breeze are doing. And Stacks now can read that, okay, yeah, this signature corresponds to the private key using the public key. And then using simple clarity code, it can do whatever you imagine it can do, which, for example, is just transferring an amount of Stacks, an amount of stablecoin, USDA, USDH, an amount of wrapped Bitcoin such as SBTC. And that's how you onboard your mom. You could invite her in a way, like you could invite her to connect and you've already prepaid an amount of Bitcoin. Or you could pair the service with an on-ramp service like Apple Pay or something else. And if they support Stacks or Stacks Asset, then your mom can simply use her credit card, and then it debits the fiat and credits her smart contract wallet on Stacks with SBTC. And then from now on, that smart contract can even be represented as a credit card itself inside of her Apple Pay. And in the same way, she goes to the store and she pays with her Apple Pay credit card. Now she can pay with her Stacks smart wallet credit card, so to speak.
So can this be done with Privy or Turnkey already, like with all this Apple Pay and all this stuff? Is the difference I'm trying to understand? Is the difference that it's more secure because it's native support, so you don't have to rely on a third party? So essentially, we can create our own native Privy, so to speak. We don't need to trust a third party's. I believe they are closed source code. They are not open source. So many of the things you're trusting them to handle. So by having Clarity 4 and native support, we can essentially create our own native Privy service. Would that be correct to say? It's not like it cannot be done today, Apple Pay via Privy, but it's that by having a native support, we are removing several layers of trust assumptions. Therefore, when you onboard your MON with Privy Apple Pay or Stacks created Privy native, it is much more secure using our own native Privy. Would that be sort of accurate?
I feel like I'm stealing the stage here, guys, but feel free to answer. But my short answer is yes. Like, you can read on Clarity, okay, this is your smart contract, it's humanly readable. This is my public key corresponding to my passkey, and my private key is stored inside my device. So I'm not depending on any third party to sort of store that private key in using MPC or using different mechanisms. I'm just trusting myself. So it comes with pros and cons. And
if I may just reword in a way that average people can understand, I think it's like basically you're giving your password away to somebody else, and you have to trust that person to handle that password in whatever their secure implementation is, but that password is still handled by somebody else, not you, not your own device. So if we have native support, that password is in your device, it's not touched by a third company, third party, right?
perhaps you can compare it with emails. Like when email came out, it was very peer-to-peer, and then you have like these big providers that started giving away all sorts of storage and benefits, and now almost everyone used them. But I'm curious what Brice and Eric and others in the on stage here think about it. But yes, for me, it's cleaner. Like, it's more elegant. It's more directly to the user. It would still remain a hot wallet in the sense that, yeah, you would want, you know, more robust mechanisms that already exist for larger amounts, such as just like a multi-sig or you know, your normal stacks derivation path and so on, or even Bitcoin.
Yeah, one of the reasons why I brought Rocky here and Blockface is Rocky has experiences in other ecosystem using some of those solutions, and other ecosystem have smart contract wallet and etc. So I would love if Rocky can share his experience on how he onboarded his friend. Rocky, if you're there.
Hey,
His
can you guys hear me?
His mom, not his friend. The goal is the mom, because
Yeah.
the UX is so freaking good, because your friend can be onboarded to Stacks almost today. It doesn't. We don't know if they will stick around, but you're able to onboard your mom.
Hold on.
Everybody.
Your mom is the goal, because that's obviously, if your mom can do it, everyone can do it. But your friends are actually going to be more engaged users than your mom. And it is easier to onboard them with this method. Or any less friction onboarding method is good right now. You need to onboard.
I challenge anyone in this panel to onboard their mom as soon as we have Passkey integrated into Stacks. And I think that if they onboard it to whichever app, I think that app has a good chance to like onboard the masses.
Definitely a good analogy. But but it's broader than that. It really is.
Let's hear from Rocky. I want to hear his experience. Just give a bit outside perspective, you know, from outside the Stacks ecosystem perspective.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Loud and clear.
Check. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm loving everything you guys are saying. Hey, Rafa. I know you're a big fan of passkeys, so we're trying to get it done. But last night, Mohan on our team and Blockface and I just playing around with Turnkey and doing a simple demo and playing it out. So we successfully sent one STX from my personal wallet to the new Turnkey wallet. So it's on mainnet. We'll show off some demo videos later on. But to answer the question directly on, what is the experience like on other blockchains, on other applications that we played around with. We had the chance probably 6, maybe 8 months ago to work with the ARC team from the Solana side. And so around 8 months ago, there was that crazy AI agents hype, agents on chain, right? All the AI tokens were really taking off, right? And so they commissioned us. They were like, okay, there's so many other projects out there. How do we have an edge, right? And so we looked into just normal AI automation Web 2 products, right, that were out there already. And we made a safe bet on N8N. And then N8N is pretty much all over YouTube now, right? A lot of people compare them to what OpenAI ChatGPT came out recently this last week on their agent builder, right? And so we kind of did some competitor analysis and dissecting, and we figured that they were using React Flow as their way to do agent drag and drop node based builder UI experiences, right? And so we paired that experience with their Rust based sort of automation to back end, right? Very performant. They're looking to cater to enterprise and sort of looking for domain expertise, right? But they were like, okay, we're doing this whole AI agent thing, on-chain agent thing, but how do we actually onboard people who are already using tools like Zapier and N8N who don't really want to worry about seed phrases, right? They lose that. They lose access to their automation or their bot wallet, right? They don't want to worry about that kind of stuff, right? They just want to experiment and figure out what this on-chain agent thing, how does it even work, right? And so the partners at Arc, they were looking into Privy, and so we looked into Privy and we did the build and integrated Privy with them with the flow builder, and it worked out really smooth. Aiden on our team, he had a great DX developer experience working with that, and documentations were clear, and we got it working and delivered it on time, and everything went really smoothly. Be able to just spin something up without having to worry about the seed phrases and wallet creation. So
one question for you, Rocky, maybe. Using that solution, do users have to worry about gas fee management?
Yeah, so from so a little bit on my background, if you haven't heard me talk on Spaces before, but I've been working in e-commerce for like 11 plus years, right? And one of the things that typically drops the user is like any kind of shipping. No one wants to play shipping when they shop. They don't like seeing fees, right? Sometimes even if you start enabling taxes into your calculations on e-commerce, you'll see a drop in conversions as well, right? And so my take there from a consumer perspective, from a user perspective, is that if there was any way for you to subsidize the gas, it's most likely going to improve your conversions from a user perspective, right? So maybe just bake that into the costs, of your overall product, right, from the e-commerce store side, and then configure some kind of like stipend or some kind of spend in the wallet where let's say it's like, oh, if you transact a total of like $1 worth of gas, it's free, right? So it's not free forever, but just to get them through the door to try out your product, to buy your product. And then once you figure that they're a loyal customer, right, and you're able to capture what in e-commerce you call like AOV, or like average order value, right? So it's like they're buying more, you're getting more margin, right? You're making money off of this customer long term, right? Then you can kind of like subsidize maybe some more gas if that's in sort of your margin calculations, right? These are all like revenue number type things, but if you're able to do that for the users, it's way better for conversions versus showing that little bit of gas in the checkout.
That was it. You know who we haven't heard from yet? 2 people, actually. 3 people. Well, I was going to say this guy right here, Blockface. I'd love to hear what you have to say in compliment to Rocky.
I feel like Web3 is about to catch up with Web2 with this experience. I have the benefit of having seen the demo that Rocky's going to share in a bit, but you have your phone, you click login, it says you want to use passkey. I click on passkey and I scan. If I'm on my MacBook, I scan my fingerprint, and then I see my Stacks wallet. That's compatible on the mainnet, and I've never experienced that before, but my overall feeling is that from 2009 and 2025, we've been catering to innovators and early adopters, and right now we're crossing the chasm into the early majority. Now, the early majority are different than the innovators and early adopters because innovators and early adopters use technology because it's cool, but who we want to market to now, right, according to the Stacks roadmap, are people that use things because they're usable and useful. So useful is one thing, like generating yield. Usable is it ergonomic for your mom? Your mom is the conversation topic today, right? What a surprise, talking about your mom on a serious subject like today, but it's true. And so how do we match the experience your mom is used to in Web 2 and Web 3? I see that future, having seen what Turnkey can do with the just tap. It's almost like thumb-driven design. And soon the thumb's going to go away with the glasses and things like that, with voice becoming the interface. But I see with Turnkey almost looking like a more powerful Privy in a way, by the way they use their. I'm still figuring out this real granular detail between trusted execution environments and enclaves. That's still something I'm looking at, but to be able to thumb tap login, finger scan passkey, this embedded wallet feature where the wallet falls away into the background and the user focuses on their one task per screen. I think that's where Web3 has its Web2 moment, where we were, because people have, if your mom has trouble with one password, now we're asking her what, to do another 20 passwords? Yeah, that's a great experience. Thanks, Mom. So I think for all of those reasons, things like Turnkey are bringing Web3 payment experiences to Web2 quality, which is really what we need to onboard people like, that's right, your mom. Thank you.
I think the real honest question is, do we want our moms in the same industry that we work in?
Not this one, the one we're building.
We want it to be. We want the industry to be abstracted away, so mom doesn't know anything about it.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Mom is going to trust their sons in terms of how to be onboarded and their UX. If the UX is bad, the son there's nothing that the son can do for mom to be onboarded. But if UX is good, then that's great. So I think like mom will not care. Like it depends where she's located on the world, right? If she's in a Western country, there's no censorship and so on, because there's a question by Hattie in the chat. But Turnkey is great too. The only difference is, again, the seed phrase, like the passcode, the password is managed through a sophisticated way by a third party instead of being stored in the enclave of the device. So we have to also think of recovery mechanisms. Perhaps your recovery mechanism can be your friends, and I think Ryder is doing a great job. Shout out to Louise and Marvin Jensen, who's a gigastar in Stacks. And they do it via your friends. And you could imagine the same mechanism where if you lose your passkey inside your device, maybe inside a smart contract, there's a way for other people who you've designed, who you designated, to be able for you to find a path towards recovering your keys. And I think that I can see rather than the email. And then have you tried recovering your account with Twitter? Or I think that the topic also Hadi is bringing is censorship in other countries, and how sometimes they censor IP addresses, and probably FactFun is not available in Nigeria, and people need to use a VPN or something. And Telegram was censored, and if it is probably still censored in Iran and in Russia, and the way they do it is they rotate the IP address to allow for these users to still be able to access the service, which gives them a voice and free speech. And Bitcoin in and of itself, how do you censor it from a government's perspective? Do you censor it, or do you embrace it? Because everybody is kind of embracing it. So in terms of your mom, as a son, I would advise her to, I'm obviously biased, but I would advise her to have it in her enclave, and then it gives her more power. Like if she's being censored or if she's being threatened, maybe she can count on her own friends to recover her keys, and she feels more sovereign in a way, and it makes her a part of it. Like she is able to taste it, and at the same time have that UX that flows, that is easy, with which she's familiar every day. Every day, is she typing her email password, or is she just scanning her passkey? Likelihood she's scanning her passkey.
So question for Bryce on this. In going ahead and implementing this new signature algorithm called SecP 256R1, are there any, I guess for lack of a better word, overhead implications for adding the signature in the Clarity code base? And would this open the doors for adding more different signature algorithms in Clarity later on?
Yeah, sure. So the first question, like overhead, no, I don't think it really adds anything. Like obviously there's some cost when you actually use this thing to verify a signature, but it should be on the same level as the SecP 256K one support that we have now. And actually the as part of this change, so the library that Stacks Core uses right now to do the K1 verification does not support the R1 curves. So as part of this implementation, I'm bringing in a new library from Rust Crypto, which is, so this is now going to be a native Rust library, whereas the previous one was a wrapped C library. So this native Rust library is actually probably safer than the wrapped C version. And we'll use that for both the old K1 signatures and these new R1 signatures. So, but yeah, and then as far as future curves or encryption models go, I guess this is just kind of like one more time practicing adding something. So I would imagine the next thing we add would be some like resistant crypto, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, prepared for the future when we're when these algorithms might get cracked by some you know, some device that is being built right now. So yeah, anytime like practicing adding these things is always good. And to kind of just to clarify the details of it, all that's actually happening in Clarity is just one new function is being added that can take in one of these signatures from your passkey or your YubiKey or whatever, and just validate that it came from a public key that you want to check against. And everything else that Rafa and Rocky and Blockface are talking about is now able to be built around that because of this new key verification function. So it's actually really simple what's being added into Clarity itself.
Just to build on Eric's question, I think in the forum Marvin had a similar question, so I just want maybe to read it to you. He says it would be cool if Clarity had generic ECDSA functions with the ability to set ECC parameters yourself. So I don't know what that means exactly in details, but it seems that he had to choose like SCCP 256 R1 or K1 instead for a writer because of the fact that Stacks didn't support essentially P256.
Yeah, so I'll try to answer. I'm no cryptography expert.
ECC
but
is elliptic curve cryptography, I imagine, huh?
Yeah, that's
okay,
right.
Good.
And my gut reaction would be that like we could give too much. If you give too much rope to the developers, you could choose bad parameters and end up with insecure signatures. So that's sometimes it's better to limit what can be done so that you're kind of forced into these known standards. So the K1 is obviously what's used in Bitcoin. R1 is what's used in all these other places, and what at least used to be recommended by various governments. So it's probably best, unless you really know what you're doing, to stick with those kind of known selected curves.
So the one that, so just to just understand what you're saying, the one that we selected or you guys selected is a pretty battle tested curve.
Oh yeah. So the one that's been in Stacks from the beginning, the SecP 256 K1, is what's used in Bitcoin, and then this new one that we're adding, the R1, is like everybody's been describing. It's used in passkeys and YubiKeys and hardware security modules. All these different things use this one. So they're both very well battle tested. And the library that we chose was carefully validated, and we ensured that we're choosing something that's been heavily reviewed and used.
That's awesome. I think that's really, I'm really glad to hear that. Why don't we show a bit of demo? So now let's visualize what the future could be. Blockbase, show us how it's done. How to onboard your mom.
I shall defer to the official, unofficial experience design officer for Stacks. Rocky, go ahead.
Yeah, let me see if I can share my screen here.
There you
All
go.
right.
You're up.
Take a look at my very beautiful landing page that we threw together. Please do not go to this website. This is all testing purposes only. So let's see if we can actually create. I just created a new wallet while we were talking here, but let's create a new one, right? So we just kind of go in. This little pop-up shows up, right? Assuming we don't have a login yet with passkey, let's just go sign up with passkey. This little thing will pop up.
So I don't even need to enter my email. I just create.
No,
an
if you have
account.
your phone and it supports passkey, you can save it directly to your password manager, right? So I'm on an iPhone. It's checking my phone right now. Then it spins up a wallet. And there you go.
Wow.
What kind of phone does your mom have, Hero? I'm curious, because she definitely is not on her laptop every day, but on her phone likely.
She has, I think Samsung, so probably supports fingerprint and Face ID.
Yeah. So right now it doesn't have like an actual like Stacks wallet yet, right? So at least in this UI, you can always program it where, you know, maybe if you create like a user profile on your application, it could create the wallet for you. But in this case, just going to make a new wallet, and then you get a wallet address. There's a QR code if you want to, you know, send me some STX and test it out. But in this case, you can also withdraw it by pasting in your recipient Stacks address. The amount we'll probably have to include some support for SBTC next.
So that's probably like potentially like you can withdraw to an Xverse wallet where you actually have your more secure C-phrase wallet, right?
Yeah, if you want to send the money out to another wallet that maybe the seed was generated sort of more manually, if you wanted to, I'm not going to click on it, but you can actually click on this export wallet and it'll give you your seed phrase. And I actually tried it out last night. So the wallet that's created in here is just like any other Stacks wallet, right? So you can go to your Leather wallet, your Xverse wallet, punch in your seed phrase, and it'll load the same information in your other wallets as well. So you can use them both at the same time. So for example, let me log out of this one, right? And I want to log back in. So I want to log back in to another account, the first account, the first, I call it the Turnkey Test 1 wallet. That was the first one we created last night as part of the test. Let's load that up. And so here you go. That is the one Stacks that I sent myself from my Xverse wallet to this address.
So to create a wallet takes 2 taps. One, passkey. Second tap is to create that wallet from fresh.
Yeah, and you can probably program to, and maybe Bryce, you can confirm that, but I imagine you could just spin up a already made sort of Stacks wallet with the user experience if you want to take out that extra click to create the wallet as well.
And this one you can send your one. This is on testnet or mainnet? Mainnet, right?
This is on mainnet. I tested
so
this
you can
with Leather.
send this one STX to somewhere else right now.
Sure, you want me to send this to you?
Yeah,
I just sent. How do you have to refresh the screen to see if?
Let's see.
I just sent you an STX.
I don't know. I may have to relog or something.
It could be the system's a little slow this morning. We got.
So I wonder whether there's a world where you can just tap passkey to log in, and already there's a bit of gas fee for you to use.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So I have not looked into Turnkey at all. Can you explain a bit like what's happening? Where is this secret phrase stored here in this model?
It's just using the standard template that was in the docs for Turnkey.
Okay. So we'll just have
to I think for more context, so Turnkey, they have like their own entire infrastructure for lack of a better word, securing users' keys, right? But they don't necessarily have access to those keys. the guest that
probably
came
like
on the
your-
live stream yesterday, he kind of went a bit more into how it works.
Okay.
But it's also like leveraging TEEs, trusted executable environments. But essentially, in this example, what Rocky is showing is that the private key that the passkey is associated with is securely stored somehow and in some way. I don't know if it's like it's definitely not stored in its raw format, but it's always associated with that passkey associated with the user. And turnkey, like they don't have the ability to access that particular key as well. So
Eric, I think just to build on that, usually I haven't read turnkey, but usually they use this multi-party computation, where the several entities are required to be able to reconstitute that seed phrase. I'm sure you guys know MPC, like the multi-party computation. Usually, like some of these providers, they use that technology to divide sort of that responsibility of storing the seed phrase in between multiple parties. And it's pretty fast it's very, very fast to do so. Yeah.
So I did a bit of ChatGPT. Turnkey apparently is the key is shared and encrypted. Turnkey's infrastructure holds one part, the user or enterprise holds the other. Full key material never exists in one place. So it sounds a little bit like a threshold signature type of approach, it seems. So it is multiple people. But whereas Privy, it's stored in a local device, secure storage, such as secure enclave, but Privy can store an encrypted shared or recovery share in its backend to allow async between devices. So actually I had this question to Boom Wallet because they are doing some implementation already, and they do come across this issue of if you want to have more than one device, because it's secured locally, like I can't just log into my browser with the same like login. Like I have to create a new one. It's just not the same login experience as Web2 because I can use my Gmail login, on any device, it'll work. But if you store your key locally, you can't do that. So you almost have to store it somewhere in the cloud so that all the different devices can access that in order to have a Web2-like experience. So I think that's the trade-off. If you store it locally versus like turnkey, perhaps their method is more on the cloud somewhere, or like shared, but on the cloud.
Yeah. And then so the alternative, which I think maybe is what you're pointing to, Rafa, is that the wallet itself is actually a smart contract, and in order to spend, you're signing with your passkey and then sending these R1 signatures into the contract and validating them.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, I'm not entirely sure whether for a wallet we want to be able to have that smoothness, like meaning like synchronize across devices and so on. Sometimes you want your data to be more attached to a device. As long as you have a recovery mechanism, and I think that the Rider approach is a great one. I don't necessarily see, a wallet in the same way as an email or something I can synchronize everywhere, because it's money in the end. So this gives me the impression of really controlling it. And don't want to be pedantic, but you'll be able to deploy your wallet with your passkey, because sort of the app provider will deploy that contract for you right away. And they can just send some gas fees. They can just take care of the gas fees as well as part of the service. And you are still sovereign. If you want to move out of that service provider to another one, you'll be able to do so. You're still the one who governs what happens in your wallet contract principle. Yeah, for me, it sounds like Rocky. Whenever you're ready to upgrade, let's talk and make it happen. I'm just joking. I think it's still a great solution, and they are having a ton of success. But it's just my philosophy is more try and give the user that sovereignty in a smoothest way, or at least having the option. And that's just an entry point, by the way. And you said, like, do we want our mothers to be onboarded to our industry? My answer is categorically yes, Eric, because I want my mother to understand Bitcoin. I want her to be able to get some Bitcoin really quickly. Currently, it's trendy, right? Because finally, governments are starting to chase it, etc. So I think, to provide that service, like, use your credit card and gift card Bitcoin to someone who will really own it is a little product that I think could gain some momentum. But I do see that your approach is really, really clever in just targeting people who are already there, who are already using, and this is more far-fetched. But you could imagine, onboard VCs as well, using, 2 authentication processes, so they can also double sign with their passkeys in a multisig. Just to throw an example.
Yeah. What about Blockface commercial from the commercial side? How much just to give people a bit of context? How much did Turnkey raise, and also who bought Privy?
So this was an interesting thing. We were looking at the maybe the key, there's a turnkey hackathon happening on DoorHacks. I think I first heard about it through Rocky and Eric, right? Because Eric pointed out how important turnkey might be for this, bringing Web3 to your mom. I don't know what we call it. I think we're going with that now. So, we had some discussion on Twitter to understand what that really is about. Rocky asked me to do a deep search with Manus, if you've ever used Manus to do deep research. And I looked at all of the different use cases. So I'm just going to quickly share my screen and just give you a little overview. So this is what might be, again, just looking at what is how do we compare Privy and Turnkey? Are they the same? Are they different? If they are different, how so? So this is just some details on the market here. So Privy, who is using Privy? These companies, Hero? Hyperliquid, right? So these are companies that are already using Privy.
I don't see your screen.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my mistake. That's weird. Okay, let me try it again. Oops. Encore une fois.
Oh, sorry, dude.
It's okay. So, at the behest for Rocky last night, when we were looking at this, we wanted to understand, again, we have Privy and we have Turnkey. Both represent solutions that make it easier for your mom to interact with the world that we're in right now. And so if you go through this, I'll share it after this stream, but it's in the private chat. You can see these companies use Privy. Right? So that's just to give you an idea of the companies that use this technology for their most basic of functions. And I think you asked how much funding Turnkey got. And I believe if I go Control F, Stripe. So there you go. So Stripe is buying everyone up, and this we should expect to continue along in the future. So is this a problem worth solving, a job to be done, something that people are focused on? Yes, absolutely. Web 2 is lining up to try to own this side. And I think that's what Rafa is interested in as well, because Rafa and people like Crypto Dude are interested in kind of what I call freedom-oriented development. Right?
Yeah.
Right? And so, but, if we look at Privy, the largest players in the game are availing themselves of this service. And if it is true that Turnkey provides an additional layer of kind of programmatic security that may not be in Privy, the writing's on the wall for Turnkey and solutions like it.
Yeah, I think it's very clear just from outside of Stacks market validation perspective, this technology is being deployed, is being used, and it is something that if we want to stay in competition with all this other chain, I think it's just a necessary feature that we need to have. Yes, you can do it today with Privy. There's a workaround, right? But I think so you can actually do it today, and Dan is already doing it, running in with emails. You don't have to create C phrase, and you can use third party like Privy and other people. But I think adding more options for ourselves, in addition to using third party, it gives our builders the ability to choose, and maybe because we don't have as much like functionalities, because we essentially need to build a Privy like stuff from scratch, and there's probably SDK to be built and different stuff to be built. But I think at least we're setting the foundation on the ground for a fully composable smart contract wallet to be developed, which will be, or hopefully will be, more secure than Privy. And maybe we will have a new Privy on Stacks. So I think it's just a no-brainer to do in Stacks, since it's not like a unproven concept, like unfunded feature that nobody wants, right? You can clearly see the market validation somewhere else. So for me, it's just a really clear, like, we should have it, and we should have it as quickly as possible, and we should get it to the hands of the builders so they can start playing around with it. And I love the recent effort of the Turnkey stuff, because I think it really draws eye to what the possibility can be, and shout out to Rocky who demonstrated this. I'm surprised how fast you can create a wallet now. This is really insane. And yeah.
Shout out to one of our other indie devs in the community. He goes by the name of iAtomic One. So he was the one that first brought up Turnkey to me back earlier this summer, because he was trying to use it within Stacks. And that led to the conversation of, okay, well, how can you actually use Stacks with Turnkey? We were able to find a workaround with it, basically piecemealing the code together, and then eventually having Turnkey add a Stacks guide in their documentation, and then leading to this current ongoing Turnkey Builder Challenge. So yeah, shout out to iAtomic One, if anyone who knows who that is. He was the one that basically introduced me first to Turnkey, and how it's now possible to use Turnkey or any other embedded wallet solution with Stacks. So
I would love to see like a hackathon based on Clarity Flow going live, and people creating something around our own native solution. I think it would be a great exercise to get, because builders are really in their own zone. They are really focusing on their own priorities, and we need to catch their attention a little bit. Just get them like a bit of a taste what it could be, and when they actually hands-on leveraging this functionality, I think they will start to understand, wow, this is like night and day difference, and I think they will automatically up that feature on their priority workflow. So I think just a suggestion.
I've got another quick question. This one's for Bryce, going back to what he mentioned about using a native Rust crypto library for this implementation.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess you mentioned how it's safer than how we're currently using a wrapper library for the K1 signature algorithm. So I guess the question is there a more safer alternative or a safer library for using the K1 signature scheme in Clarity?
Is there a safer one? No, I think this is the best one that we are aware of. So
Gotcha.
Joey Yandel, who's cryptographer. He's focused on cryptography. He went through and audited all the existing libraries and found this to be the best one.
Gotcha. Interesting. Okay.
So we're going the way of Web 2 and oxidizing our language with Rust.
Yeah.
I like it. Is that because of the safety and all of the other benefits that everyone else is moving from C to C++ to Rust? Is that the motivation?
Yep. Yeah. You can basically just kind of eliminate a whole class of problems with
Yep.
Rust versus what you might have in C, which not that the library that we were using was unsafe. Like, it was very well audited and all that as well. But if we can use one that's pure Rust, we're going to prefer it.
Yeah, as a vibe coder, I am learning to appreciate developer experience for the first time,
Mhm.
you know, and the ergonomics of developer experience. And I think that if we are competing on the basis of making it easier to program money, right, then this developer experience that we went on with Clarity, I think of all the things Stacks has created, Clarity is probably one of the most fundamental, you know, and making that easy to program, maybe for mom's nephew, is how we bridge that gap.
So
yeah, definitely. I think developer tools and like Clarity, Clarity in the language design and documentation and stuff is all really important so that we can get as many builders as possible doing cool stuff with all this, everything we're adding.
Did Mom's nephew see the latest that Rosar published? He's got a tutorial, sort of teaches people to vibe code, and perhaps Mom's nephew can upgrade their tool set and become more than a vibe coder, like a Stacks dev.
You know, to clarify one thing I said before, sure, I would love my mom to be invested in crypto and Bitcoin and Stacks. I just don't want her to be in the same live streams as me every week.
Yeah, I can appreciate that. I think we're probably all on the same page there, man. And I appreciate the clarification there, because I think we all knew what you were saying, you know. But that's a good way to kind of circle back to that. Dan makes a point here, and I want to shout him out. In the Dan T's in the live chat. He says, I think we need to point out that passkey is not the be-all, end-all solution to onboarding users. There are many other considerations that users expect. How do you handle recovery? How do you handle multiple accounts without terrible UX? Do businesses' apps really want completely anonymous users? Some do, you know, and to that last point, some do, or some are happy to have that if that's what the users want. You know, and that's part of the user experience too, is having the choice there. But would love to hear your guys. Like, I tend to, without being the technical background side of things, Dan's right. This is not obviously going to be the solution to all of our onboarding problems. There's a lot of other things that need to be sorted out, but it is a step. You know, it's a step towards bringing Web 3 to Web 2.
Yeah, so I think I can take that one because I'm the one who's probably most excited about this feature and grateful for the engineers to have included it. Peace, love. So I would say if you go in the street and you try to onboard moms, you know, we usually see this in social media. So they have their phone. How long is it going to take for them to go through the process? And how many steps will you have? So we're talking about your mom. So likely, again, I think I agree with Dan that, you know, there's a long way until all of our moms are going to be onboarded. But the sooner we get there, the better. And this is going to be very simple. Like, I'm in the street, she's got her phone, it's a web app. There's no need, like any builder can build that smart contract wallet with their passkey. They don't need to go through approvals and so on for stores. And then she's going to sign up, log in with her passkey. It's going to deploy a smart contract wallet. That's it. Finished. No seed phrase, no several steps. The passkey is already used. If you look at Xverse, it's already used through the seats, through the different steps when someone is being onboarded. But this is going to be the only step, and she's got her feet in the door with a hot wallet, perhaps limited amount that she can control, and then she can start using her sovereignty wallet. And
So,
then
last
for
word
recovery, I think, yeah, for recovery, we talked about it. And then last point, like multiple accounts. You know the meme, the sailor, how many chairs are you sitting on? That would be my last word. Sorry I cut you off.
Yeah, so putting my governance hat on, I know Bryce is very deep into this side as well. You know, we're always looking for, people to contribute to SIPs, and people contribute to conversations, people bringing ideas. So I just want to say a big shout out, big thanks to Rafa bringing attention to this, because without you bringing attention to this, probably wouldn't have happened today. It'll probably be down like next year sometime. So I just think from engaging with community perspective, this directly came from community, right? Because Rafa is like boots on the ground, like DJing all the other stuff and seeing what other ecosystem are doing. And I just think it's really important to make sure these kind of ideas bubbled up, good ideas bubbled up, and gets the attention of the core developers. And we should really encourage this conversation to keep happening, keep listening to the builders, what they want, observing what other ecosystem are doing. We're learning a lot, from other ecosystem too, what's worked already. We don't need to make the same mistake. So big shout out to Rafa. Without you, this really wouldn't have happened. And I propose putting Rafa on the author list of this SIP. So I think would be a great way to honor your contribution.
Well, thanks, but I think that it's the entire ecosystem that needs to have a shout out. Freezer put me onto this, and I thought this was brilliant. Then I stumbled onto this issue of a workaround and potential vulnerability. Then last day you reached out to me. We talked with Rocky. The entire ecosystem. Eric is always on the front end. Without Bruce, how are we able to build? It's impossible. And the community itself, beyond the community, everyone. I want to shout out to Rubes. Recently, we've got a big win with inclusion of SIP10 into Deck Screener. And obviously, also, I want to shout out to the AI BTC group, who are working like relentlessly and having a launch time coming soon. And I think this is also going to be very exciting for Stacks.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so many awesome things coming to Stacks, guys. We could keep this conversation going on. There's a lot to talk about here, but I know you guys I want to respect everybody's time. We're a little bit past the hour, so I think we're going to wrap up. I'm going to let you guys all have a last word. If there's anything else you guys want to add, if there's anything we didn't cross over. Start with you, Rocky. Any final words, man?
No, thank you for the one STX donation into our little test demo. Appreciate it. We're going to keep building, right? There's so many more features that we're digging through with Turnkey HQ as well. Our team is looking into a feature they call policies, but I won't go deep into that, but it's super cool. If you want to check it out, there's these things are supposed to be like smart wallets, right? Like right now we're using smart wallet technology, but it's still really dumb. Like there's really no complicated rules that you can set up, some like hooks that you can automate things with, right? These things are meant to be used for businesses and enterprise as well. And so there's a lot of security features you can build in, but it's really up to us, right? As builders in the community to really go and experiment. And also like, for me, like Stripe became super popular and useful and valuable because of developer experience, right? And so for us as Stacks and builders on Stacks, like being able to pull inspiration from tools like Privy, tools like Turnkey HQ, and make the Stacks native, like Stacks Connect or something like that, right? We're looking at, the Aptos Connect side. I'm going to talk to the guys there when I go to New York later next week, is that these different builder experiences and how documentation is written, how do we use AI to onboard developers onto new tools, like all of this, we can really pull inspiration from other places and other communities and I think it's very valuable to the Stacks ecosystem. So I'll end there. Thanks.
Right on. I appreciate you, man. Putting a lot of work in on the UI, UX, and getting things to work together front. Really appreciate what you're doing in the ecosystem, man. Eric, I'm going to go counterclockwise from my view. Eric, any last words, man?
Yeah, I just appreciate the entire community embracing these new kind of wallet abstraction innovations. I've always been a huge crypto wallet connoisseur. So seeing this kind of stuff is always kind of interesting. It's always fascinating to learn how one can utilize a private key in so many different ways, and it can open up possibilities that many people are starting to realize within crypto. But of course, at the end of the day, I think one thing that we should also mention is that we're not suggesting people to use these wallet abstractions for their entire crypto basket, right? It's always important still to have a large majority of your crypto in cold storage. So, but yeah.
Awesome, man. GP, you haven't really had a whole lot, but I wonder if you have any perspective to share before we wrap up.
So I love that the barrier for entry is getting lowered for the newcomer, right? It's awesome. But I still want to be able to teach self-sovereignty. Be able to hold your own assets is important. So it's good to use that as a tool for onboarding, but also being able to teach them how you can store your seed phrases and stuff like that. Trying to opt in and make sure that they know that there are options and there are safe ways and decentralized ways to hold your assets. So I'm a fan. I think that it's going to be great for onboarding, just like we were talking about. We're trying to onboard your mom. So go on board some moms, right? And I think it'll be a little bit easier with this update to Clarity.
Right on. And that's a great point too that we didn't necessarily touch on here. This isn't a replacement for cold storage and deeper security. This is for hot wallet type of functionality, and onboarding more people en masse does also mean we have to actually do more in the awareness of safety and security efforts to that end. So that's a good point. Hattie, any last words? Anything else you wanted to add to this?
I think I've dropped mostly in the back. I have a problem. I like the onboarding. I like the mother thing. It just feels there's something in it that's missing, and it's around safety concerns. So yes, you can onboard somebody quickly, but where's the safety? Where are the safety nets? So those are the things I'm concerned about. And when we're talking about a US-centric app development, amazing. When we move to the European Union, Australia, the UK, we're going to have problems, and we need to consider those users, and especially in Africa. So there's a different landscape out there, so we need to understand those aspects of it versus the US, where you have data could potentially be under freedom of speech, where in other countries you don't have that. So we need to consider that data passkeys can be used as a vector of attack to access data. So it's not about transactions, it's about your data that lies behind that. So that's my only concern with this.
Interesting.
It's a longer discussion.
Yeah, we could go on probably for another hour on if we started going into that, but it's worth having. So maybe that's another episode down the line. Michael, any last words before we wrap off, brother?
Hello, my name is Michael Jackdown. I'm a headhunter launching startups with the Syndicate. This episode of DeOrganized brought to you by your mom. What I've noticed, Hattie, is that security is a spectrum. I don't secure $1 like I secure $1 million.
Laser beam security?
I imagine that the people that we are targeting with passkeys are not going to put their deed on it. They're going to put $10 on it.
That's the way I see it too.
And the people who are looking to get onboarded, maybe have their first $0 to maybe $500 transaction, then this spectrum of security as a profile for a user, beautiful. When it's time for them to custody big boy and big girl assets, Ledger, Wallet, Rider, there are a lot of solutions for people who want to have a certain level of security that matches the value of the crown jewels. The only thing missing is something we haven't discussed today, which is not passkeys at all. It's what's missing from self-custody. I've had my financial licenses before. How much FDIC insurance do we get, Peace, with self-custody?
Well, the same amount as you have for cash in your drawer. Which
exactly, and that's why my mom's never going to put money into self-custody until I attach crypto's version of FDIC. I'll stop there.
So we have to create an insurance, a general insurance for crypto. That's an interesting concept. Hero, what do you got for us?
Yeah, just want to address Dan's point, and I agree with Dan, actually. You know, with this upgrade, we are not saying we're going to onboard the mass, right? We're just adding the primitives in order for the developer to be able to build a more self-sovereign, more secure onboarding experience. Once that Privy-like Stacks native Privy-like wallet done by Rafa, for example, that still need to go to a business and actually get run by an entrepreneur. That entrepreneur need to go out there and push for this in order to really get it to the hands of the people. So having this function is not a direct means to say we're going to onboard like 1 million people to Stacks next year, but it really adds the primitives and the foundation. There are other things like the gas, you know, how we're going to onboard them, like they're going to have to go and search where to buy the token themselves, or can they actually, can you build a good enough experience so they can actually tap to top up their balance with their credit card inside the app. So these kind of stuff, it's not a silver bullet, is how I would agree with Dan. There are some other things, primitives and ideas and features that still need to be solved. But I think we're heading one step in the right direction. You know, at least keeping up with the competition. So that's what I would say on that front. And just again, big shout out to Rafa, everybody in the room for coming together. It's really important that we work collaboratively so that good idea, good conversation, good reviews happen, you know, peer-to-peer reviews. People go into the GitHub to review what Bryce has done, you know. People go to the Stacks forum to chime in on this conversation, like Rafa created the thread, Marvin chimed in. You know, it takes more than just one person to make this kind of things happen. So I'll highly encourage everybody to continue to do that. And just big shout out for people who stepped up as a leader like Rafa to get it bubbled up to the surface, like this is important. And people now starting to sink in and understand this is important.
Right on. I want to also take a moment to recognize Hero and all the hand he had in this, because he brought a lot of awareness to Rafa's post. And that's the reason why I knew about it. That's the reason why I know a lot of, and he went around to a lot of people. He did a lot of legwork behind the scenes. This show, by the way, also put together by Hero. The last, you know, the contribution you make to this ecosystem can never be overstated, sir. So I wanted to make sure that we do recognize that as well. Thank you for all that you do, including putting this show together today.
Yeah, you're a badass here.
Here. Rafa, any last words? We're going to give it the last word to Bryce. So, Rafa.
Yeah, I think that as a community, like this is Web3, so I think that as a community, we're the ones who are empowered to onboard other people. And this is just a symbol, like onboard your mom, because it makes it very, very easy. But I think, you know, anyone will have their own mission, and it's very difficult to generalize things. But here I see, you know, a nephew could be onboarded as a Stacks dev, you know, people can be onboarded to cold wallets, and you know, I would say, you know, onboarded to poetic life in a way. So principles and what you choose to onboard to is important. And when you create that technology, think through what you want the future to become from a first principles perspective. Yeah, and perhaps DeOrganized Media also has a great role here on onboarding people to Bitcoin, because that's what we're saying. Like Stack's first principle is to onboard people to Bitcoin, and I could not finish with like a shout out to the R&D and core engineers who are trying to make it even more sovereign to be able to sort of exit Stacks or the wrap version of Bitcoin in a unilateral way. I think that is definitely showing that they've listened to market needs, and this has huge potential. So yeah, we're getting onboarded by them.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate what you bring. You're always cranking in the ecosystem, Rafa. Like you're on all sorts of fronts, and you're willing to help anybody at any time. So much love, man, and really appreciate the work you do as well. Bryce, so what do you think, man? You think you made the right decision including it in Clarity 4? I think so.
Yeah, I think it was a good idea. So thanks again to Rafa and to Friedger for keeping that pressure on to get it in here. Because I initially was like, nah, we'll do that in the next version. But I love all the excitement we've got around what we can build with this thing. So really appreciate all that. Love the discussion today. And yeah, I get a hop so I can go finish implementing it. It's about 3/4 done right now, so I got to finish it up.
When's the vote's coming up soon, though, right? We got it out
15th of October, guys.
Yeah.
End of October?
15th.
Yeah, the target is go live 15th. Is November 6th.
A week. Less than a week.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah, in 5 days we'll be voting as a public. If you have your STX in your wallet, or if you have it in experts, stacking, whether it's stacked or not stacked, you can all vote. And then the core engineer are just like doing the final touches, the testings and whatnot, final review. And November it should go live. And that's when I think we should get like a hackathon together in November. Just get a bit of a buzz around it, get people using it, hacking around it, get builders to build on it, basically.
So there's I know there's a plan for a Hacker House event at DevConnect in November in Buenos Aires. So maybe I think Adam. I'm not sure who's running it, but I think it's Adam. Maybe we can incorporate it into that. Maybe. Yeah. Anyway, well, that's not going to be solved.
DevNet will be supporting all of this as soon as possible, so devs can start building on it. The parts of Clarity 4 that are already done being implemented are live in ClariNet's latest release, so you can start playing around with them now.
All right. You guys heard it here.
One piece of information unconfirmed, so don't quote me on this, but I heard that the winner of the hackathon currently, Rocky, might be also winning some type of traveling abroad. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but yeah, just throwing that in.
I did not hear about that.
So building for your mom can lead you abroad. Fantastic.
By the way, I mean, let's just again reiterate: onboard your mom is maybe the best marketing tagline for any time ever, because it's provocative, but not. I think we should onboard everybody's mom. And
well, my friend who's a mom texted me while she was watching, and she was like, you know what, it would be a lot easier just to use a passkey. So there's that.
Nice.
Moms are chiming in right now.
Phone is blowing up with
liking passkeys, guys.
That's why his alternate nickname is MH.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Coach Uncle GP.
I remember your website. It got me through a lot of lonely nights in the early 2000s. Thank you.
All right. We're getting out of this. Is not for this. Thank you, guys. We can't help but go a little bit deorganized on the show, but this was awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Really great stuff. I really appreciate all of your guys' time and participation in this and letting us do this on DeOrganized. Happy to continue for as long as you guys want us to. And Hero, again, you're the best. We wouldn't be here without you, sir. Keep
being badasses, fellas.
That's right. I am Peace Love Music. We are DeOrganized Media, coming at you live on Bitcoin Live Decentralized Broadcasting with the weekly SIP show, amongst all the other things we do. Thank you guys for tuning in today. You all have an amazing rest of your day, and we will see you on Monday. Get out and touch some and get some. And thanks for joining us today. Peace out. Thanks, guys.